I can still remember when I first saw the game. Remember just how good the feeling was. I was never quite the same. My family there beside me, and we all went on to say that we'd never find another game like the game we saw that day. So we watched the champions coming up, and we watched the champions fall, and we watched the champions hanging on with their backs against the wall. We had our share of heroes, there were many there, it's true, but those were the greatest heroes I guess I ever knew. Aussie rules, I thank you for the best years of our lives, all those hazy, crazy young days, all those fun days in our lives. I thank you for the laughter, and I thank you for the tears, and I thank you just for helping us to overcome our fears. And I thank you for 100 years. Through those times of plenty, through those times of strife, you were always there on Saturday, give meaning to our lives. It was hard to dwell on bad times, it was hard to dwell on doubts. It was hard to dwell on other things when your team came running out. And now the time has passed us, and now the nation's grown. The kids dressed up in colours, they've got heroes of their own. My family there around me, I still hear them say that there'll never be a better game than the game we have today. Aussie rules, I thank you for the best years of our lives, all those magic sunny Saturdays, there were no better days in our lives. Thank you for the laughter, and I thank you for the tears, and I thank you just for helping us to overcome our fears. And I thank you for 100 years. Aussie rules, I thank you for the best years of our lives, all those hazy, crazy young days, all those fun days in our lives. Thank you for the laughter, and I thank you for the tears, and I thank you just for helping us to overcome our fears. And I thank you for 100 years.
Good afternoon and welcome to the TTMI Case IH Mid-Gippsland Football Netball League feature match, which is the elimination final between Foster and MDU here at the incredibly picturesque Toora Rec Reserve. I'm Brad Sinclair from Sports Stream Live, and I'll be your host commentator for the afternoon. And as you can see, it is a glorious day out here. The forecast is for a lovely sunny day with a top temperature of 18 degrees. The ground is in excellent conditions, and these two teams faced off last week in round 18 at Meeniyan, and Foster got the chocolates by 8 points. Both teams have made a couple of changes from that game, and this promises to be every bit as good as last week's encounter. Joining me as always is 200 plus game Gippsland big man Matt Mosley. Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon, Brad. How are we?
Mate, I'm fantastic. How couldn't you be on a day like this? How good is the weather, the ground? We're situated in a fantastic position. No excuses for poor commentary today, Matthew.
Yes, no excuses, Brad. But how's the weather?
Unbelievable.
Just a little bit windy, though.
It is. I'll tell you what, I went for a walk out on the ground. They've had a bit of rain overnight, as I think everywhere in Victoria did, and it's just softened it up. It is beautiful.
And it just gives you that smell of finals time. Is there anything better?
As Fish Creek are in the reserves here, just popped through a goal against Yanar, and they're trailing by 5 goals at the moment. I can tell you the under-18 game, your mob, Yanar, won 8-7-55 to a very inaccurate Newborough when the wind was probably a lot worse than what it is now. 4-10-34, 21-point winners, the young Magpies.
and they nearly got done by 100 last week against MDU. So it was a good bounce back by the boys. And they'll face again against MDU next week.
Hey, we've got a bit of a coup at half-time here today.
We do.
Good friend of yours.
We do.
Who we got?
We have Toora's coach, Jack Weston.
Half-time.
Half-time, and he's going to join us on grand final day.
Wow, he's going to be there all day. So you and him will be opposing coaches of the grand final team in special comments. That should be fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your history with Jack.
Well, I've known Jack basically since we were about 4 years old. He used to bite me a lot when I was younger. But, yeah, I've known Jack nearly all my life.
It's fantastic, cool. He was up here earlier having a chat and he was picking apart some positional stuff here.
Just listening to him, wasn't he?
So it's going to be fantastic having him grand final day. And we'll also, on grand final day, which is at Meeniyan, we'll have Owen Carter from Gippsland Footy on the boundary where he'll be out at quarter time and 3/4 time huddles and hopefully get one of the, or both coaches at those breaks. So that's, again, something new that no one's doing, but we are here at Sports Stream Live.
It's setting the standard, isn't it?
It's going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to it. All right, game previews. Well, first of all, let's have a look at the leading goal kickers, how they finished for the year, which was really interesting in the end because we were out at that game last week and we were hoping on seeing Jake Best get closer and closer. But Chris Wangman ended up running out the winner for the leading pest throughout the day as we see Yanar run out winners 12-3-75, nice and accurate. Fish Creek 7-3-45 in the reserve game. And Jake Best, so Chris Wangman was on 78, he won from Jake Best on 72. Darcy Berriman from Fish Creek on 58. Nathan Wielden jumped above Kyle Jennings in that last game, his teammate, and he finished fourth with 37 and Kyle Jennings from 33. So today we will see Jake Best out on the ground, and tomorrow Chris Wangman will play in the other elimination final out at Willow Grove, where Morwell East take on Newborough.
And that's going to be an interesting game. There's only 1 point between the two sides last time.
Going to be very interesting, isn't it? So we'll talk about that more as the day progresses. But this one here today, as I said, we called this last week, Matty, and it was a game of two halves, wasn't it?
It was. MDU really should have put them to the sword earlier. They didn't kick accurate in that first quarter and had most of the play. And then it was a bit of a one-man show later on in the day from Foster, and we know who that will be.
Jakey Best got 5. He got 3 in the second half, and he just tore him apart, didn't he? And then he'd have a little 5-minute or 2-minute spell in the middle.
And it worked beautifully. It broke the game up as well, so we'll see what happens with him again today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Really looking forward to that. We imagine that Kelly will get the start, but I would also imagine that Crone will come across and Bromley, and they'll make it really difficult for Bestie.
You've got to. 2 or 3, you can't just be a one-man defence with him. He'll take a lot of effort to stop.
Let's have a look at the teams. First of all, the home side today is Foster for the elimination final. And there it is there. You see Latour. I'm going with, Jack West called him Latour. I thought it might have been Latour.
I'll back Jack.
I'll back Jack too. Yeah. I'll go with Latour. And he comes into the side for the Foster team, as does, as you'll see, at centre-half forward. A very good player that's been around a very long time. And Tom Bartholomew, that's a big in.
Massive in, but he is definitely on the older side of 30, but he can still tear a game apart, and he'll work really well with Jake.
So that's a big forward line, Bartholomew, Best and Cook. We had a chat about this off air. Because the full forward at MDU comes back into their side, does Cook become plan B? Ray gets the start on him, and does Cook become plan B for Sheen?
Well, Cook's the biggest player on the ground for Foster, apart from their ruckman. So, yeah, you've got to try something different, and I think Cook has played a bit of backline this year as well.
So it's an interesting side. Really looking forward to see if that is how they line up, but I've got all the confidence in the world in Sam Davies. His word is as good as anything.
He's very organised.
Very, very organised. Let's have a look at the MDU side, and there's a couple of real big ins here, Matty, and big one there is Darren Sheen at full forward and Steve Forrester comes into the midfield. They're big ins for this side, aren't they?
Well, you add a bloke of Darren Sheen. He's kicked 1,200 goals in his career, and it's probably something they lacked last week. He'll straighten them up big time, and Forrester comes back in as well. But we have heard a bit of a whisper about him, so we'll see how he goes early.
And we'll say, coming off broken ribs.
Yes.
He's had 4 weeks out. He's a big-bodied midfielder.
Yeah, he is. Well, I've personally done my ribs this year, and I was nowhere near ready after 4 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. I'm assuming Sam Davies will put a bit into that.
Will they line up as is? Oh, I know Nathan Allen picked himself on the bench last week, and he did start there, but he's got himself and Bryden named there today. Do you think that will happen? Do you think Bryden will start there as well?
Well, it's 2 X factors. They really got the game going on their terms when those boys had the ball in their hands. And even looking at that lineup there, Hoy was down back last week, and he was really good last week, and he's starting forward this week. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do start.
Yeah, it certainly is. So they're the teams, and the umpires are out on the ground, and I can tell you the umpires for today are Ryan McLeod, Robert Blunt, and Ryan Bosch. And there they are in the middle of the ground. And fantastic effort to get through to the finals. And I noticed that they were up and about before when I went and had a chat to them, and they're out there getting their customary finals photos taken. And the umpiring has been fantastic this year, all throughout the year. And I thought last week, exceptional umpiring throughout that day as well. So it's going to be an absolute ripper here today. And because they played last week and only had 8 points, Matt Mosley, I've got to ask you, what do MDU have to do differently to get the chocolates today?
Well, they didn't do a lot wrong last week. They did take the game on when they needed to. They did look inside. It was just a bit of polish. And when it's going into their their back line, Jake Best, he's such a dominant player when he's got the ball. He has great decision-making as well. So they've really got to watch Jake Best early on.
Yeah, he's the one, isn't he, that they've really, really got to watch. And other games there's no other games today of Mid-Gippsland footy. Don't forget tomorrow out at Willow Grove, Morwell East take on Newborough in the elimination second final. And then next week we will be live streaming out at Newborough the qualifying final between Fish Creek and Yannar on the Saturday.
Yep.
That promises to be a beauty. And the semi-final on the Sunday is between the 2 winners of today and tomorrow.
Yep,
they will play off on, and that's out at Yannar. Your old mob. How's that ground looking? Have you been? I know you got the Achilles injury. Have you been out there of late?
I have, but the positive thing is they have not played a game there since round 16. So the ground's beautiful, hasn't been used.
That's good. I tell you what, if it's half as good as this Toora ground today, which is absolutely superb. Hey, now today we're giving away the goal of the day, the mark of the day, and there is a player of the day. And we've got a time clock sponsor too, so I'll just go through those. The player of the day that we will give 3, 2, 1 between the two of us at the end of the day is the Exchange Hotel Foster player of the day, the Foster IGA goal of the day, JBN Cartage mark of the day, and the time clock is brought to you by the wonderful people just up the road, not too far from here, Ray White, Leongatha. Of course, Jason Harris from MDU, works out there for the great people at Ray White, Leongatha. Thank you for your support today in the elimination final number 1. We're going to go through this now. Who's your pick and why today? They only played last week, so it's pretty fresh.
It is, and I think I'm going to go with MDU. I think adding a bloke who's kicked 1,200 goals in his career, it just straightens them up so much. And I think Foster, their top end players, they're over the hill in a nice way. I just think it's MDU's turn.
I'm going to go Foster.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you why. I know Darren Sheen's a massive in, but I'm going to put the acid on him here.
Yep.
He's a massive in up at full forward. He's kicked 28 for the season. 17 of those have come against the 2 bottom sides in Merboo North and Hill End. Yep. And in this corresponding game earlier in the year in May, round 5, he only got the 2 against Foster, and he's you talk about the over the hill. he's on that
Yeah.
other age. He's up there with Bestie and that too, and that,
Yep.
and Bartholomew and Cook with age. And I just reckon players like Neville getting it out of the midfield, Williams on the wing, they might cut off the supply, and Sheen mightn't get enough supply to kick any anyway. But he could. I've coached against Darren, and he could come out and kick 12 and pull my pants down. So
Yeah, he's that type of player, isn't he? Yes, he's kicked over 10 on me personally before, so I know what he can do. But another factor, the win today.
Oh,
it's quite strong.
Swirling around. In the under-18s, Newborough had it for 3 quarters. They lost the game.
Yep.
But they had it for 3 quarters because it changed.
Yep. It all depends on how you use the footy, isn't it?
So you can see the flags there on camera, and they are swirling around. You'll see they'll go to the right of screen, and then they'll pop up and go to the left of screen, and then they'll go straight across. So it's just changed from right to left then.
Yeah.
It really is an incredible wind out here today. And the other thing is, when you're kicking left of screen, if you're sitting at home or in the pub, or you might even be at work and you've doing a sly one on the boss and you've got it going on the iPad or the computer and you're watching the game here, the Sports Stream Live Elimination Final, you will see the most magnificent backdrop to a country football ground in Australia with the hills.
Yep.
How good is that?
It's magnificent.
Yeah, you've played out here, obviously.
I have.
You're a forward when you're up in the goal square this end. What do you think? I'd get caught out looking
There's
at
a few good ones. Willow Grove's a good one because you've got Blue Rock behind it, but that's one of the better ones as well. But yeah, this is magic.
I rate this, and I said this in the earlier game we streamed here against Toora, against Thorpedale. This is the most picturesque ground in Australia to me.
Yep.
And there's a lot of them.
Yep.
I just
Well, you've seen some good ones.
I just find that backdrop, and it's because out here it's always green.
Yeah. A lot of rain in South Gippsland.
Yeah.
We know that.
So it's just incredible. Well, that's enough for the travel show. So you've gone MDU, I've gone Foster, which is good.
Yep.
And someone plays their 200th game today. Who's that?
Callan Van Dyke. I've also played juniors with Callan as well. He's been a super player for a long time, and we had a chat with Jack Weston before the game.
Bouncing in between two of them. Wilson collects it, goes up the wing, or just on half back. Good mark to Harris. So Harris right on the boundary line. It's going to be chopped off. Geez, he started well as Toner. Goes up towards centre half
kick.
forward with a ripper to Cook. So Michael Cook is going to have to kick this. But he has got...
He's a beautiful kick.
And he has got the bruise at his back for 30 seconds and it'll change. But he is a beautiful kick. It's just going to get towards the goal mouth. And again, it's Tim Harris that's going to take the mark. So Harris, he's going to go to the outer side for the Demons.
Which is more the defensive side too, with the wind.
And fed off. And that was by Thornell. Thornell, he was quite good last week too. So pretty mirror image to last week's start. MDU first on the board. And then just stoppage after stoppage as Hickey goes in and lays a tackle for the Demons. So right half forward for the Tigers. Ellett, beautiful tap to Hopner. Gets his kick half smothered. Might have been in the back. Bromley feeds it off. Hickey, kick into the middle of the ground. The bounce isn't great. Go to ground. Ends up picked up by Stewart. Gets a hurried high ball towards centre half forward. Latour can't take it. Bryden, just a fresh air tap towards Sheen, and they fall across it. We'll have a bounce down centre half forward for the Demons. Again, another start, restart, half forward, centre half forward for the Demons. Allett, beautiful tap behind, but it's all Demons. Oh, great smother.
Oh,
That was Hopner. He's a solid boy.
he is.
So ball up again. Allett wins the tap. Hopner gets the crumb. Kick up towards centre half forward. Green. He's harassed by Hoy. Bromley goes in. Umpire's pulled a free kick. It'll go to the Tigers. Left foot kick
That's Banbury. So he's come
into
in.
the middle. Comes off the front of the pack. Hurry kick forward by Toner, who's had a lot of it. So Banbury has come into the side, and that'll be for
Tom Bartholomew.
For Bartholomew, which
Interesting.
We did say off air. We were having a chat, and we thought Banbury was stiff.
Yeah, he was good last week, wasn't he?
Yeah. So comes back into play. Clark feeds that over. He's just hoping, if anything, or errant handball. It's just bouncing around and, geez, a lot of mistakes there and a rush behind in the end. So gone nearly 10 minutes on the Ray White Leongatha time clock in this first quarter. And 5-point leaders are the Demons. Go up the wing. Leadon can't take the mark. Gets through his hands. Williams keeps it in play. No, he doesn't. I thought he did. We had a pretty good view of that.
Yeah.
I thought he did keep it in.
Yep.
But anyway, we'll have a boundary throw in. Left half forward flank for the Tigers. They trail by 5 points. In this first quarter of the first elimination final, Neville, Sharks, goes up towards the pocket and just beats Hoy out over the boundary line. And another boundary throw in.
The Tigers are setting up really well, aren't they, so far? It's really hard to break their press at the moment. As we can see, Toner in the background, probably can't see on screen, but he started off really well.
Oh, he has. Hurry kick by Green. Off the stoppage. Bouncing ball. Just got to pick it up. He can't cook. I don't mean he cannot cook, but it was Cook that couldn't pick it up. Kick smothered. They go in after it again. He's milked the free.
It all comes from the smother.
He's just con Robert Blunt there.
Yep.
And it did. You're spot on. What a great smother it was. And Rathjen, is it?
Yep. Effort for reward.
Looks like Jack Rathjen then that'll get the free kick. So he shouldn't have a problem here. He's directly in front. In he comes. Oh, he just got it up with that.
Stabbed it.
He did. He's got it there in the end. And the first one to the Tigers goes to Jack Rathjen. And they hit the front. 1-2-8. Foster, MDU 1-1-7. They lead by a point. We've gone 11 and a half minutes on the Ray White Leongatha time clock, and that's on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard, the feature match of the Mid-Gippsland League.
Thought of the start so far, Brad?
You've said it. The wind's going to play a big part.
Yep.
I don't know where it's going because it's just swirling around.
Yep.
I would think Foster have got it for now. Neville, geez, that was great. Back to Hopner. No, that's Banbury. They look alike, the strong bodies. He feeds it out to the outer side. Clark could end up with this. No, it's Walsh for the Demons. He's tackled by Clark. Neville mops up. Bromley's there. How good was he last week? He's going to get a free kick here. So Jake Bromley, outer side of the ground, on the right half back flank. Now, what we seen of him last week, Matt, was that they go out there and then come back
in. Yep.
Will they do it here today? They're just going to keep going that way. I don't know what Sheen would want. He'd want them coming up the middle.
I think they have started slow. I sort of repeat myself a lot with this, but to give your forwards a chance, you've got to be running so quick through the midfield to get through the centre of the ground to give your forwards a chance, and that's been a bit slow so far.
The wind looks like it is going to left on that kick. Just dragged on late as the ball beats Banbury out over the boundary line. Yes, what a great day for footy. So you want to be getting it into Sheen real quick.
Yeah, give him every chance.
Yep.
Likewise for Best as well. Give him every chance.
Allett, double tap. Hurry kick forward by Curry. He was good last week for the Demons.
He was, kick 3.
As well, he did. Goes to the boundary. Another boundary throw in. So the big one tomorrow, Morwell East Newborough. In the elimination final 2. It's out at Willow Grove. And we're here at Toora today for this one. For TTMI Case IH. the leaderboard right now on the Foster IGA goal of the day, I would say is Shay Walsh.
Yep. Well, it's only been 2 kicked, doesn't
It's
it?
only been 2 kicked, and it was a ripper.
Yep.
Comes back into play, and the umpire's going to ask him to throw that in again. It's central umpire Ryan McLeod.
Just looking at a matchup there, Brad. Looks like Cook, Callie's gone to Cook this week. She had best last week.
So who's got best at the moment? See if you can...
I think Hoy,
Okay.
which I do like that matchup.
Yeah. It would have really thrown him too.
Oh, no,
No.
it's not Hoy.
I reckon that's Forrester.
Yeah.
Is it? I reckon that might be Forrester. I might be wrong, but we'll see if I can get the glasses on that soon. But, we'll have a ball up, right half forward flank for the Tigers. No, that's not Forrester, is it? Anyway, back to the stoppage. Allen wins a tap behind, and Allen couldn't take it cleanly. Rathjen feeds it out. Hurry kick forward by Banbury. Comes off the pack. Oh, is that in the back or holding the ball? And that is Forrester that's gone to
Yep.
S. That's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Allen wins the tap. Sharked by Allen, the coach. Goes up towards half back, and again, Tone is there to stop it. Allen gets the tap down. In he comes again, Tony. Just couldn't take that away cleanly as Allen just picks up the smaller Mo script. He'll get the free kick here. So Blake Mo script, right half back flank for the Demons. He's a little bit unsure where to go, and hence he's turned that over. Morris takes it on that outer side for the Tigers. They go up the line. Coming from behind is Connor Crone. I liked his game last week, and he punches it out over the boundary line. 16 minutes gone on the Ray White Leongatha time clock. Haven't had a mark of the day contender yet for JBN Cartage, but I'm sure there will be one. Again, the boundary umpire's asked to have another go at that.
It's thrown into the wind as well.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got a hard job. And that is Harris that wins that tap. So they'll double team Allett now with the loss of Kieran Bond.
I think that because they've lost Bond, they've had to put Forrester maybe back onto best.
Yeah. Yep. Good call. And Bonnet, a minute and a half in the first quarter, what looked like an Achilles injury. Allen, hurry kick out, and the wind's just going to drag that out over the boundary line. And
Nearly into Welshpool, I think.
yes. And Morris will get the free kick. And you just look over to the right of the camera there, you can see a little bit of Wilson's Prom and the cows to the left, and I just love the outlook of this ground. It's just magnificent. So we've gone, Allett comes to the bench now. We've gone 17 minutes into this first quarter. The Ray White Leongatha Club. Short up to Cook from Morris. Cook now wants to square it. Low ball, probably a good idea. Best might have got a nudge, not paid. Demons, get it out of that danger zone for now. Bouncing ball, tap forward. Williams gets it at ground level, snaps around his body. Oh, the courage of Toner. Quickly plays on and sets up Rathjen. Will get an opportunity for his second, but how good was Josh Toner?
That's a contender for the day. That is a contender.
We asked for it, and JBN Cartage contender mark of the day. And Josh Toner, Josh Toner delivers. Rathjen misses to the right.
Really pushed across with the wind there, didn't it? A great mark by Josh Toner. You see a lot of players sort of pull out of those contests.
Just have to keep a little mark on me pad there for Toner, because I reckon that's the contender at the moment, and I reckon Shay Walsh might be the contender for the Foster's IGA goal of the day. Go out to the outer side, handball off from Perry. Up towards half forward. No, that's Stewart. Comes around on the left foot, looks for the boy in Bryden. Takes the mark, 50 metres out, right on the boundary. Right side for a right footer. He's going to square it back to his coach. So Nathan Allen from 60 bombs it high. Wasn't a great kick. And I don't think his teammate Lockie Wright was too happy about it either. And Morris was able to intercept easily. High ball. Goes outside, defensive 50, ends up dragging straight over the boundary line. So Nathan Allen will take the free kick for the Demons, and he's hit the boundary line. So Morris, they're waxing. Morris will get the free kick. Nearly into time on. 2-point lead to Foster. A lovely kick of Morris. And I reckon Allen's taken the mark. He's fed it back. Or was that Cook? In fact, it was Cook.
Looks a lot more lively this week, Cook, doesn't he?
He does.
He had a great last quarter last week, and he's followed into this week as well.
Taps one by Harris. Comes back. Tigers go towards half forward. Just overrunning it then. Unable to take the mark was Goss. Best gives it back. Thornell feeds it off. High ball. Inside 50. Gets up there. Oh, gee, I thought Seagat had the sit. Couldn't take the mark.
Oh.
Snap at goal. I reckon that was Toner again.
Smith, I think.
Smith, was it? Eddie Smith?
Yep.
And he's missed to the left. So they'll go short to Stewart. He goes short to a teammate on the boundary line in Wilson.
Not a lot of movement, Brad, is there?
No. Walsh. Left half back for the Demons. Long, they're just, the kicking towards their forward half has been pretty ordinary.
Yeah, it has.
And Morris is having a field day, just being able to run across and mop this up. Cook on the outer wing. Short. To the presenting Thornell. High ball. It's 3-on-1 here on Best. Comes to the front. Seagat can't take it. Allen's there. Feeds it out. Best feeds it back. Hurry kick a goal, and that was from Seagat. Stays in play.
Nothing to kick to.
And Williams is able to mop that up. He goes back inside again, 3-on-1.
Oh, that was very silly.
It was. He had him beat.
Yeah.
There was three of them. He didn't have to do it.
Yeah, no need for it.
So the free kick will go to Seagat, the left forward pocket. For the last few minutes, he's looked lively when the ball's hit the ground in their front 50.
And that's what they need with their big forwards. They need someone on the ground.
Right now, do you think that MDU need to watch that? Because they're punching it forward as Seagat snaps around the body. I reckon he likes it.
Yeah, the umpire likes it too, I think.
And it's straight through the middle in the end. Seagat gets his first and the second for the Tigers. And on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard, 2-4-16 Foster, MDU 1-1-7. We're gone 22 and a half minutes, thanks to Ray White, Leongatha. Yeah, I just think that ball's hitting the ground, and obviously the ploy is let's get players back and punch the ball in the pack form away from Best, but you've got to have someone at ground level.
You do, and they've got a player out injured today, Billy Flavin, and he's a great little small forward. But he's not playing today, so that's exactly what they needed.
Wow. So, back in the middle. I always say on these windy games, you don't know until half-time where it's blowing.
Yeah.
When it's like this.
Give them a chance at either end.
Yep. Back in the middle. Good leap and tap from Harris. Up towards half-forward. Hurry kick back. Oh, Bastion. I thought he was off. So did Walsh. Umpire give him the benefit of the doubt, and the Tigers captain takes the mark in the middle of the ground. High ball. Best has the sit and takes it.
Just protected the space in front of him again.
Does that really well.
Did it all last week, didn't he? Not an overly big player.
He's got the distance, hasn't he?
Well, what we seen last week late in the game, he kicked at 55. So I'll give him every chance.
So we're going 24 minutes on the grey-white Leongatha time clock. He needs, well, he doesn't need to, but it'd be nice to kick this to give him a bigger buffer at quarter time. He's got all the distance, but not the accuracy, and he's missed everything. And the free kick will be paid to Tim Harris, left back pocket for the Demons. There you see the backdrop. Beautiful. Oh, what's he done? Oh, he's got it up there, but Williams.
Again.
Yep, he just plays that wing beautifully, very well balanced. Goes inside, 50. And he didn't land too well then, Steve Forrester. And I reckon that's a left ankle. It was a good umpiring decision by umpire Blunt, because he did nudge out best, didn't he?
He did. And there was no need for it yet again.
And he hasn't landed well.
No.
They can't afford to lose another one.
No. I've got the perfect view here.
Yes. So in he comes for his first of the day.
Or
It's come back. Not
come
a
back
bit
past.
late.
Yeah.
Yes. So he missed a few last week too.
Yep.
Took him a while to get the radar right, but he got it right in the end.
He's dangerous though, isn't he,
He
again?
is. Might rue those missed opportunities though. So they bring it back in. There he is again. And I reckon that's 4 marks.
Yep.
Intercept marks for the quarter to Williams on that wing. I reckon that was chopping of the arms to Green, not paid. Ball goes out of bounds. Haven't seen Darren Sheen for a bit. In fact, I reckon it's all of 8 to 10 minutes that we haven't seen Darren Sheen.
Yeah.
So there's some problems here for the Demons as Perry takes the mark inside his defensive 50. Yes, Stuart Long. Again, Williams is there. And at quarter time, sees Foster 2-5-17. They lead MDU 1-1-7, so it's a 10-point lead. And we might take a short break. When we come back, we'll go through the goal kickers, better players, and see the mounting injury list and see if we can discuss that for MDU. You're on Sports Stream Live for the Mid-Gippsland Football Netball League Elimination Final, all thanks to TTMI, Case IH. More after this short break. Welcome back to the Toora Rec Reserve. We're at quarter time. Foster 2-5-17. They lead MDU 1-1-7, and I know you've been working frantically, Matt Mosley. You've been working frantically, Matt Mosley, to see where Darren Sheen is. Have you found him?
No, it's a bit of where's Wally at the moment. We can't find him anywhere. So hopefully that's not another one down for MDU, which will mean it'd be two big fellas down in the first quarter.
Wow. Now, Forrester looked like he was favouring the left ankle.
Too, yeah.
And I'm watching him at the huddle now, and he's definitely favouring the left ankle.
Yep.
You can't see Darren Sheen, and you've lost Bone.
Yep.
A Bond. Are we going with Bond?
It's
We went
Bond.
It is Bond.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're in a bit of trouble. They trail by 10 points. I know it's only quarter time, but with those players out right now, so umpire McLeod, Allen does the sharking. He's wrapped up by Rathjen and Neville. So they're out to a 17-point lead now. Oh, 16-point lead, sorry, the Tigers. They've lost Bond, we think Sheen, and it looks like Forrester's playing on one leg. They're away. They go up towards Cook. Has it punched away from him? Thornell over to Green. Green, handball to Clark. Gives it off. Seager has his kick beautifully smothered by Hoy, but goes back in after it. Gives it to Clark. Right foot snap. Tries to square it up. Gets it out over the top. Free kick to Cook in the goal square.
Danger signs, isn't it?
It really is.
I think Bryden's even touched the footy yet for MDU, and he was so X-Factor-ish like last week.
So Cook shouldn't have a problem from here, directly in front, only 12 metres out. And he gives the goal umpire a little bit of work to do, but not a problem. Cook gets his first and gets Foster's fourth. 4-5-29 Foster. They've shot out to a 22-point lead. MDU 1-1-7 on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard. And Matt Mosley, we've only gone 4.5 minutes on the Ray White Leongatha time clock.
Dangers. It's just danger time. They don't even look like scoring MDU, do they?
No. Umpire Blunt comes in and we put it in the air again. And we're going to restart. Fed out, underneath handle by Banbury, gets it back. Gets it onto the left foot, goes forward towards half forward. Clark gets it out over the back, goes inside 50, unselfishly, just lowers the eyes, and it was a mongrel floating, but Best made it look good, Matt.
He did, but that's just the two players knowing each other.
Did it travel the 15 metres? That's the question.
I'll say yes, but I don't think so.
Yes. Best comes in for his second. Gonna make it real hard now already. And he gets his second. And this could get out of control very quickly.
It can.
And the Tigers 5-6-36, MDU 117. We're gone 10 minutes into the second quarter on the Ray White Leongatha time clock. And it's all thanks to TTMI Case IH.
Yes, I think they're definitely stunned MDU. I think they do need to make change. I honestly would put Hoy to centre half forward. They're really lacking there.
Yeah, you're right.
Just a target.
They need a mark, don't they?
Yeah, and work off that.
Yep. I like the job that Harris is doing in there on Allen. He's having a go. Toora feeds it off to Banbury. He goes up towards half forward. Hoy gets a nice bounce, comes back, goes in towards Bromley. He traps it well onto the right foot. Up towards half forward, looking for Ashley Allen. He collects it at ground level, comes back around.
Lovely kick.
Beautiful kick. Finds Harris, who feeds it off. They go inside 50. They have to use a new avenue. Doing really well was right. Left foot snap. He's got it. Lucky right against the tie.
And it comes back to again Ash Allen making the contest. That's what they need. It creates plays on the ground. Always have to mark it.
Spot on, mate. That's very good pick up. They need that across half forward now, and that was really against the tie.
It was. Foster a dominating play.
Gets them back within 23 points now. 5-6-36 Foster. MDU 2-1-13, 11 and a half gone. The Ray White Leongatha time clock. It's all thanks to TTMI Case IH. Ball back in the middle. Again, Harris winning the tap. Sharked by Neville low. Has his kick smothered by Wilson. Comes out to Clark. Feeds it to Toora. Lowers his eyes. Up towards half forward. Bouncing ball gets out over the back of Smith. He goes back in after it and he's all wrapped up by Forrester. The bounce down. 55 around from the Tigers' goal. Stewart still off the ground for that indiscretion downfield free kick.
You don't want him off too long, do you? He's a very good footballer.
Allett wins that one, gets it out to Clark, dances around, feeds it back to Banbury. The late inclusion for Bartholomew gets out over the back of the pack and didn't trickle through in the end. Forrester traps it, gives it off. He was looking for Kelly and didn't reach him, and it ends up going out over the boundary line.
Just watch Matty Clark come off then. He's just limping there and he has had calf issues.
Gee, they're going down like 9 pins.
Yes.
Elimination final, you don't want it. Wilson sharks the throw in, gets it up towards half back. High ball back inside for the Tigers. Forrester does well on Best in that occasion, but the umpire has pulled the free kick, and that's umpire Ryan Bosch. And that looks like Michael Cook.
It's a forwards game, isn't it?
Talking about the old fellas before the game. Well, they're starting to line up.
They are.
This will be his second, and that means Best and Cook have 4 between them.
Yep.
Of their 6 if he kicks it. In he comes from the same spot he kicked his last and does not have a problem. Michael Cook gets his second.
And he's been a good player as well for a long time.
And they go on to 6-6-42, the Tigers. MDU 2-1-13. Just over 13 and a half gone on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard. Ballot comes in as a spell to the bench as Green wins the tap. Hopner, I really like the way he goes about it. He's going to pay a free kick against him here for holding the ball. The Demons will take it. And he's been good again, Corrie. He's trying as see Stewart's back on the ground for MDU. Corrie up towards half forward. Ashley Allen has the set.
Got the chop.
He got the chop, that's right, and gets a free kick. He's a long way out in a swirling breeze. Going to take a great kick to get it, but he's got all the confidence in the world.
He's got to kick it right to left. He's really got to kick it left to screen, and it should curve around.
So Ashley Allen hasn't troubled the scorers yet. Runs to the right, sits the ball to the left, just like Matt Mosley told him to. And he's kicked it straight through the middle.
And against the tide again. Beautiful kick by Ash Allen, though.
It's like he just had the earplug in listening to you.
I'll let him know.
You did. 3-1-19, the Demons. They to TTMI Case IH, and Shay Walsh might now have an opponent for the Foster IGA goal of the day.
I actually really like Jake Best's goal.
The other one,
yeah,
yes.
That curved beautifully.
Well, there's a couple of contenders now.
There is.
Back in the middle. Oh, Nathan Allen does really well. Gets it clear, and they take a mark. And again, it's the big fella, Lockie Wright, who got one earlier in this quarter, and all of a sudden, he gets this, and they're back to within 3 goals.
And what is it? It's ball movement, and they're moving the ball. They've been so stagnant from nearly a quarter and a half. Now they're starting to move it really well.
Lockie Wright has to put this through. The left footer,
Looks
not
good.
a problem. Good signs for the Demons. In the latter part of this second quarter, they go on to 4-1-25. Foster 6-6-42. We go on 16 and a half into the second quarter.
Scoreboard's a bit flattering, isn't it?
It
Foster
is.
have dominated play, really.
Yep.
Geez, if they can get another one before half-time, MDU.
Alec goes back into the ruck. Now, this is the sort of thing, I know we're a long way from home for this game to be finished, but if they could get up here today in an elimination final after losing their 2 big guns early in the game, that would do a lot for their confidence, Matt
Oh, it'd
Mosley.
be massive.
And it's the coach leading the way in the middle at the moment. He couldn't get clear at that time, and Banbury wins it. Left foot round the corner looking for Cork. Bouncing ball, doesn't sit in. Rolls out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in 40 around from the Tigers' goal. 17 and a half gone on the Ray White Leongatha time clock. Again, Harris holds the front spot, wins the tap. Forrester's there, and he's taken out over the boundary line. At half-time, we'll, of course, have Jack Weston, the Toora coach, in here to have a chat with us, and might get his contenders for the Exchange Hotel Foster Player of the Day at half-time. Cook goes in low, tries to punch it out. Clark lays a tackle. And again, we'll get a restart. Green and Harris. Comes out to Hoy, high ball. Gets it out of the danger zone. Toner just nudges his opponent out over it. And it bounces free and beats Mo Script out over the boundary line. In between wing and half forward, out of side for the Tigers.
It's good to see Matty Clark has come back on too.
Spills free. Toner. Coming off the hand, so boundary umpire says out of bounds. And I can tell you that the 4th player has gone to Williams, and this time it's Jess Hickey on the wing.
Who would have thought 4 opponents for a wingman?
To half-time.
Yep.
Neville fighting hard underneath the pack. Got his handball out, and Banbury was away, and the umpire blows the whistle. They restart. Corrie, hurry kick, up the wing. Just holding the front spot. There was the 200 gamer, Callan Van Dyke. Van Dyke out towards the flank. He's got a good pair of hands, Cook, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's got sticky hands today.
He has. Quickly plays on and shows a bit of youthfulness there. Goes in. Oh, Bromley comes off the hands. Paid a free kick. Bromley will be the recipient of it. Quickly plays on. He's going to go out wide to that man, Hickey. Oh, I thought it was all right.
He did everything right.
I didn't think he made contact. And he's shaking his head as if to say so too. Thought he did real well. Hickey up the line. Big Alex there. He's in trouble.
Oh, he did really well.
It was a great tackle by Walsh, and I reckon he's stiff. And he's letting umpire Bosch know, I was stiff. 50-50 that tap. Flicked out from Bastion to Williams. Gets his 30th kick just about. Up towards half forward. Gets out over the back. Perry, no, Crone has run of it. Goes up towards half forward. They come out. Handball comes from Leedon out to Bromley. Not a great kick. Bastion. Leedon taking the Tiger high there, and that's Banbury. Banbury gets a free kick out of wing.
Been good again, hasn't he, Banbury?
He has. Late inclusion too. Hoy takes the mark in front of Green. For Bartholomew, he's the late inclusion, Banbury. So he's making every post a winner.
Yep.
High ball. Off the hands of the pack. Van Dyke, he's all wrapped up. We've got a bounce down centre wing position out of side. 21 and a half gone. Just ticking over to 21 and a half. Ray White Leongatha time clock in this second quarter at Toora. Out the back, Bromley feeds it off. Up towards half forward, sitting under it and taking the mark is Perry.
Oh, 50 here.
Going to get a 50.
Off the footy, Stewart.
Stewart was downed, and I'm trying to see who that was that dropped him.
It was the captain, Bastion, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was. It was. So all of a sudden, what was out to 33 points becomes 11 points if he kicks this.
Yeah, massive.
So the recipient of it is Perry. Comes in. Straight in front.
Knocks
Only 30. And gives it the double cobra.
Bastion's coming off too. I think Sam Davies will give him a quiet word, Brad.
Yes, wouldn't be happy with that. Right on the depths of half time when you held a 33-point lead earlier, and it's now 11 points.
Yep.
Foster 6-6-42, MDU 5-1-31. That's on your TTMI Case IH scoreboard. And on the Ray White Leongatha time clock, we've gone nearly 23 minutes in the second term.
Game on again.
It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Just when you think they might be blowing them out of the water, and there's another free kick in the middle.
Things are going their way.
They are, and it's Wilson that takes the free kick. Sends him inside, 50. Over the back was Bryden. Couldn't take the mark. They get the crumb. Fed off to Corrie. Right ball towards right.
They've got the numbers.
Gets to ground. Tigers flick it out the back. I reckon, oh, gee, I thought Harris was taken high. Not paid. So the Tigers clear. Bouncing ball to Wilson. He's going to send it back on the left foot. Not a great kick. He was looking for Hickey, but had too much on it. And the free kick goes to Foster. And it'll be Hopner that will take it. So Hopner. Green has it tapped away by Kelly. Allen feeds it back. Ends up to Hoy. Back to Allen. To Wilson. Right kick around the body. Towards the wing. Coming in was Morris. Couldn't hold it. Oh, that's got to be a free kick.
It's not, though.
It's not to Toner.
No.
Wow. Maybe blindsided the umpire. Certainly. Two highs. We're gone 24 minutes on the Ray White Leongatha time clock. The Shadows are half-time here. Allett wins a tap to Banbury. He's all wrapped up by Corrie, and we'll get a start again. Banbury.
Not happy with it.
He wasn't happy at all, was he?
No.
Very similar players, Banbury and Corrie. Allett wins it to Banbury, and he's wrapped
giving him
up
another
by
one.
Corrie again.
Let's see what happens here.
That's
They played it cool.
a bit more pleasant. So, Allett and Harris. Hopner. Tackle by Corrie. Wilson. Little right foot dribbler. Williams is there for the Tigers. He's got some company.
Oh, I don't think that was out either.
So Hickey playing him a little bit tighter than the other three that have had him. Which is probably a good idea. So again, it'll be Harris and Allett. Allett from behind. Hits it out towards Rathjen. Geez, he took that nice and cleanly. Handball to Hopner. Tackled by Allen. Gets his kick away inside 50. Cook leads his opponent under the ball.
Oh.
Best gets it. He's all wrapped up in the end. That's Lockie. No, it's Forrester. I thought that might have been Lockie Wright that's gone back to him, but it's still Forrester. And he's done a pretty good job.
He has.
No effects of that ankle that looked like he rolled. Green takes it out of the ruck. Has his kick smothered. Goes back in after it again. Umpire crosses his arms and we'll get a bounce down 40 around from the Tigers' goal. And the Demons don't want one.
No, they want to shut it down, don't they?
They need to close this quarter out at the 26-minute mark. And there's a snap around the corner from Seagat.
That's goal of the day.
That's got to be the leader in the Foster IGA goal of the day. Jonathan Seagat, just as we said, MDU don't want one here at the 26-minute mark. Well, they get one. 7-6-48 the Tigers. MDU 5-1-31, out to a 17-point lead. That's on your TTMI Case IH scoreboard. And we've gone now 26 and a half minutes on the Ray White Leongatha time clock. Nearly half time.
They'll be disappointed with that, wouldn't they, MDU? They've had such a great quarter.
Yes, you don't want that in red time when you've been so good, but what a goal to Jonathan
was.
Seagat. Corrie feeds it back to Allen. He's tackled, double tackled. Gets it to Goss. His kick's smothered. They go in again. Does Bromley. Good tackling from the Tigers. Neville, always in and under. Yeah, he's got the high free kick against Wilson there. So Brendan Neville in the middle of the ground, always at the bottom of the pack.
Always. Does all the hard stuff, Neville.
Wheels around, sets it up. Cook's led underneath it, gets out over the back. Rathjen runs into the open goal, and the Tigers have gone bang, bang.
Doesn't that hurt? They've worked so hard, MDU, to get themselves back into the game. They've let 2 goals late in the second quarter.
They now have 4 players that have kicked 2
Yep, good spread.
for their 8 goals.
Yep.
And that is Seagat, Best, Cook, and Rathjen now.
Yeah, it's a good spread. You're not relying just on Jake Best like last week.
So 8-6-54, back out to that 4-goal buffer for the Tigers. MDU a 5-1-31, 28 gone on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard. Again, Allen's doing a power of work. In fact, that was Corrie on that occasion. Allett wins it from Harris. Corrie laying the tackle. Banbury. Wrapped up by Bromley and Corrie. We've got a restart. Still in the centre square. Right on the shadow of half-time here.
That's
Don't
what you
forget,
want.
we'll have Jack Weston in at half-time, the Toora coach. They go up towards half-forward, the Demons. Van Dyke. Allen. That's Ashley Allen. Feeds the handball back. He's been good, Hickey, since going to Williams. He squares it up. Finds leading. They need one before half-time. Lowers his eyes. Not a great kicker's right. Not paid. I reckon that was a good decision.
Yep.
I reckon it did come off the hands. Williams. And I just got onto the out effects mic and muted that siren because it's been blowing my ears apart, and it's blowing up the computer a couple of times. Matty Mosley, half time. We have Foster 8-6-54, MDU 5-1-31. They're 23-point leaders. We might take a short break, even have a sandwich. We're going to have Jack Weston in to have a chat, and we'll go through all the goal kickers and better players on the other side of this. Welcome back to the Toora Recreation Reserve in what has been a very interesting first half of footy, where ebbs and flows and injuries and lost players early in the game. And as we said, we got a treat at half time. And we are very, very happy to be joined in the commentary box by the Toora captain or senior coach. I know they don't like being called captain coaches when they have a captain. That's Jack Weston. Good afternoon.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, what have you thought?
It's been a good game, hasn't it? Sort of typical finals arm wrestle there, where you sort of had Foster get on top at the start of the second quarter, and then from there, Meeniyan worked their way back in, and sort of just the arm wrestle that you probably expected coming in. But yeah, I think that there's certainly some stuff that both coaches would want to sort of adjust and try and get the game on their terms and sort of kick away late in the third and the fourth, I'd imagine.
Just before I hand you over to Matt, I've got to ask you, you're a coach, you're sitting in the box, you're a minute and a half in, you lose your big ruckman Bond. What are you thinking?
Yeah, there's probably the one you don't want to lose, isn't it? The ruckman, because they're hard to find. They don't get any smaller as the game goes on, and you've got to then throw probably either a key forward or a key back up into the ruck, and then it throws the structure out there, and you either, you know, you're a little bit nude down back and it probably makes the opposition easy to score, or you're a bit nude forward and you've got less avenue through goal. And I think that's probably what's happened for Meeniyan, in that they lose their avenue towards goal, and then obviously losing Darren as well by the looks of it, and it sort of becomes a little bit easier for Foster to defend the ground and probably be a bit more proactive with their positioning. As
a coach of Toora, what would you do if you're Nathan Allen right now?
Yeah, I think looking at it, Foster are really trying to defend that middle corridor. They're probably trying to stop Meeniyan from getting any speed on the ball and kick mark through that centre of the ground. So I look at it and think that they could probably do with getting a bit more width on the ground just to open it up. Either that, or they're probably going to have to get, you know, some speed on the ball and attack through getting some forward handballs and some run by. I saw, you know, Tom Corrie goes into the middle in that second quarter and probably tries to drive a bit of that run just to open it up, because when it's slow and Foster are able to set the ground and they're really defending that middle channel, which Meeniyan like to sort of attack through there, that you know, it goes Foster's way. So if I was Meeniyan, I'd sort of be trying to open up, you know, get our wingers to get a bit more width on the ground and try and open those short 45s up and then hope to get some run through, because if the ball's coming through fast into that forward line, I think that's probably the best way to score against any team, but especially this Foster team.
And the other one with that was that you say about the wingman, and Dylan Williams has had 4 opponents. He's been dominant on his wing for Foster.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think probably the beauty for him is he does hold his width, and it just gives Foster that avenue coming out from back, but also being that widest player on defence, when Meeniyan have had to go wide, they've actually kicked high and wide, so he's able to chop a lot of that ball off and probably had a lot of inside 50s there and marks off turnover, so he was really impressive in that first half.
MDU, you told me before the game the attacking of the ground. Which way is the best way to attack if you're down at half-time?
Yeah, I think they've got to bring it out this commentary side here. The wind's blowing to the far side of the ground, and there's been no real intent, probably from both sides in some respect, to actually bring the ball out this side off the line. Like when they get caught on that far side, it stays there, probably reluctant to hit that big switch kick into the wind. But I think even just changing lanes slightly to come out this side of the ground will make it easier to score and probably easier to link up off half-back too.
Yep.
Sometimes a lot of people will say that out of something ordinary that happens, some good can come of it. Now, they lose Bond and they lose Sheen. Right now, does Nathan Allen play on their emotion now and say, hold on, backs against the wall, this is what this club's about, that sort of thing?
Yeah, they've really got no choice, I suppose, Brad. Like, the reality of it is if they don't come out and find some freedom in the ball movement here, then they don't play next week. So, and that's the same for Foster as well in terms of, you know, the players are invested, the coaches are invested, the supporters are all invested. So I don't know that the emotions come into it as much. It's more so just that, the knowing that, you know, it finishes today if you don't win and you join the other 8 sides that aren't playing anymore. So, yeah, I think certainly you're back against the wall and you can probably bring it in, but in some respect, I think the players are aware of that already.
I thought the coach lifted for MDU in that second quarter, so he's one that's leading by example out there, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the likes of Sam Wilson and Tom Corrie as well are probably their leaders that are actually stepped up, and you get them around the ball, and I think in finals like this, you've got to get your best players around the ball, and so Nathan's going to have to spend a lot of time around the ball and try and drive that ball forward. Same with Sam, same with Tom, if they're going to win this game.
It blew out to 33 points. They got it back to within 11. It's gone back out to 23 with 2 junk time goals. Can they get it done? What's your message? Do they need to just chip away and be within striking distance at 3/4 time?
Yeah, I think so. You've just got to hold on for as long as you can, because with these games, the momentum does swing, and they're both very good sides. Like, you've just got to give yourself a chance that when the momentum comes your way, that it's not 45, 50 points and you've just got too much to do. They've got to keep it within striking distance here, and they probably need to win the next quarter by a couple of goals and bring it to within 10 points, especially being down to 1 on the bench with their rotations as well. It becomes really difficult to overrun sides, so they're going to have to do a lot of work in this third quarter, I think.
And we're talking through the broadcast. You talk about momentum, what do you change for MDU? We thought maybe Hoy might go forward, because they don't have a lot happening down there.
Yeah, I suppose you look at that Foster defence and they are very, they do slingshot off that half-back line with Van Dyke, Morris and Toora there. If you can make them to defend, if you've got an option to throw forward that can make them defend, then it probably just shuts down Foster's run a little bit and you might find another avenue to go. If not, it might be going small, to really try and expose Ray, Latour, those guys that are down there as the talls, make them play on smalls and see if we can play a little bit of mad ball and get speed on the game. Yep. That might be another option and avenue to open up some goals too.
Now, I know they talk about in the AFL 6-day breaks, 7-day breaks. I think it's so much more relevant in this footy because they're out doing a builder's job or they're working during the week. Life doesn't change and stop for footballers in this sort of footy. The winner today plays the winner of tomorrow into that final next week. How much of an advantage is that extra day for the winner today?
I think it'll be huge, and looking at the Newborough side, they've got quite a few injuries at the moment, some banged up players, and no doubt Morwell's probably carrying some banged up players in the back end of the year. And we aren't professional footballers. I'm sure that most blokes will be having a couple of beers after the game, and even on a Sunday as well. So that recovery becomes paramount. I think an extra day gives you a big advantage, especially if the other sides are banged up moving in. And for the Foster side, if they do go on to win, I think with some of the older boys there, that they'd probably relish the extra week or the extra day and the extra time to bounce back and then give themselves the best chance of a win and then into a prelim the following week if that's for them.
Little birdie told me on air, not off air, on air, that you might have been a bit of a biter back in your day, that old Matty Mosley might have got bitten by you a couple of times as a young fella.
Well,
is there any truth in that?
I still think I'm as highly as competitive as I was back then, but
I've got more.
I control my emotions
Little
I control my emotions a little bit better these days. But yeah, it is something. I've got 2 young kids of my own, and I think they've probably copped a bit of my temper at times too. So I'm getting my own back, I tell you.
Now, your role today here at Toora, that you're an incredible. I just got to say, you're incredible in what you do. I remember we come out here in the Thorpedale game earlier in the year, and you're about to coach, and you give me a half an hour downstairs for a chat, and I just found that amazing. Today you're doing the bloody timekeeping up here. What's going on? Is there anyone else that does anything here at Toora?
Yeah, there's plenty of people that do a lot more than I do, mate. I probably just show up in the roles where I can get a bit of airtime and maybe make myself seen. But look, it's one of those ones. As a small footy club, everyone's got to step up. You know, the livelihood of the football club relies on volunteers, and you know, as a coach, I'm acutely aware that, you know, that I've got a responsibility, not only on the football field and training and stuff like that, but when it's time to put your hand up, I love putting my hand up. And you know, we've got Crash Stone down there in the bar, and he's been doing it for years, but he can't do it on his own now, and that's the thing. I think it's just so important for these, especially the clubs in this end, that, you know, we don't have big numbers of volunteers and stuff like that. Everyone has to chip in when we get asked. So
your social media is the best in
I agree.
Victoria that I've ever seen of what goes on the just the funny stuff. And I spoke to one of the guys that does it. Name them, Jack, if you could, with their names. The two guys.
Trent and Springo, who do the Thursday night draw.
Hilarious.
Very good. Yeah.
They do laps around the ground. They're in the main street.
I think the thing there is that they probably do need to give credit to Jo DeBoer, who does the social media, and she's making the reels and stuff like that. She pretty much went into full director mode for 6 weeks there when we were trying to get Trent's airtime and build up a bit of excitement around the Carlton draft. And I think ultimately that's just another aspect of why local footy is so special, is that you can get people like that come in and use what they do in their day-to-day lives to help push the football club forward. And, you know, even the player recruitment signings and stuff like that airtime's huge, because it just involves those people, it involves the families, and it gets eyes on the club, which is so important.
Now we talk about recruitment. We'll give Toora a bit of airtime. Tell us a little bit about what's happening.
Yeah, look, it's obviously a busy time. Probably the first step for us as a player list from a players list perspective is to actually make sure that we re-sign all the players. Over the last few years, we've sort of bled players and not had them re-sign at this time of year, so then we're starting from scratch. So really fortunate that the boys that we've brought in this year have all re-signed already, and then there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes by the footy department to bring in some extra players. So we're really hopeful, we're really optimistic about what we could probably do over the course of the next couple of years. It's one of those ones where, you know, you've got to balance short-term success and bits and pieces like that with what happens long-term. You know, we can't have a group of players that come in for a year or two, go away, then we're back to zero. So we've got some really great people in this year, and they want to drive the club forward. And it's been 52 years since we've had a premiership here, and that's what drives me. So we're really optimistic about where things sit for us for next year.
Jack, thanks very much for giving us your time. I know you've got to get back in and do the scoreboard and a bit of timekeeping, a bit of this and a bit of that. I'm hearing you're probably cooking some burgers during the last quarter as well. We did ask you off air, so we'll ask you again on air. We got you grand final day.
Yeah, I'd be happy to jump in. Yeah,
all day.
Yeah.
As special comments with your best mate here that you've bitten.
Well, as long as Matt doesn't bring in any more childhood stories, because if you hold me accountable to a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old Jack, you won't want me around.
Yes, I agree.
Mate, thanks very much for joining us. Congratulations on your season. There's been huge improvement, obviously, with Toora, and no doubt with you at the helm, there's going to be more improvement in 2025. All the very best, and we'll see you grand final day.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks very much. It was Jack Weston, the senior coach of the Toora Football Club, and what a great guy he is after being bitten by our special comments, man, and he's still able to get here and have a chat with us, Matty.
Impressive.
Very impressive.
Speaks very well, doesn't he?
Well, how good is that?
Good insight.
It is. I mean, yourself and him that are in this local that siren about 45 times. We know it's just about to start, but anyway. I've got to say, his insight was magnificent.
Yep. He's got a great his background with Gippsland Power, obviously getting drafted to Geelong in 2010, 11, around there, and now he's bringing all his craft to this league.
How lucky are we to have you and him together? Grand final day. So everyone listening, grand final day on September 14 out at Meeniyan. And we will have Matt Mosley in his chair, as always, with his great mate Jack Weston, the Toora coach alongside him. We'll have Owen Carter from Gippsland Footy out on the boundary as well. It's going to be a full board on grand final day. But here, we've got to get through this elimination final number 1. Goal kickers to half-time. Seagat, Best, Cook and Rathjen all have 2. And for MDU, Lockie Wright has 2, and then singles to Walsh, Ashley Allen and Perry. And it's 8-6-54. And Foster and MDU are at 5-1-31. We're just about to get underway for the third quarter here. The first quarter that sat them back. They blew out to 33 points. They got it back to 11, and it's now back out to that 23 mark. And Ben Perry has the ball out of back flank. Feeds it off to Corrie, been good for the Demons. Up towards half forward. It's going to come back. Hopner collects it on the second go. Just gets his kick away from the Walsh tackle. Demons up towards half forward. It's all Tigers though, and Latour takes the mark. Included into the side. Didn't play last week. He come in, well, was with Bartholomew, but he was late in out, and Banbury come in out of wing. Rathjen. Bromley. Tackled hard by Clark. Ball spills free, and the umpire McLeod will ball it up out of side. In fact, that's umpire Bosch. Harris wins the tap. Tigers inside 50. Bad bounce for Best. Good bounce for Forrester. He collects it. Goes up towards Stewart. He has it punched away by Cripps. Williams. Does well, Hickey. Now through Walsh. They're away.
They're away.
Good kick. Now it's in the hands of Moscrip. Beautiful kick to right.
And how easy is footy when it's movement like that?
And you're a big forward. That's how you want it coming in, Matty?
It is, and it's coming in the inside. You're not coming out from the outside of the wing. It really gives the defenders no chance, really.
So he stood up, Lockie Wright, in the absence of Sheen. He's kicked 2. He'll kick from 45 for his third, but you really need to be starting that way right. And he didn't. It's gone out of bounds on the full. Morris will take the free kick for the Tigers. Would have been handy, 4 minutes in. So Morris, left back pocket. It's a beautiful long kick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gets it out of that 50 area. Right, feeds it off. Not a great handball. Oh, just pushed in the back. Hopner laid that push. Says, gee, they have Hoy in the middle.
Not swivelling his head, is he?
Yeah, and too slow now to get it there. So Moscrip goes up towards the pocket. Gets out over the back. And Hoy's letting him know too on that outer side that you've got to swivel the head early.
Yep.
Blunt throws it up in the air. Allen's there. Comes out off his hands and trickles out over the boundary line. I reckon that was Connor Crone, and I've laid that on Moscript. It was Connor Crone on the outside.
Something that I have noticed, Brad, Todd Bastian, he's really following the MDU coach, Nathan Allen, at every stoppage.
Since half-time,
just before half-time,
okay.
But started again in this third quarter.
Probably a good idea. He had a bit of it, didn't he, in that second?
Yep.
As Bromley goes inside 50, it gets out over Hickey's head. Kicked off the ground by Morris. It's gone a bit out of bounds on the full. It'll be Hickey that takes the free kick. Short to Corrie. Corrie now goes to the pocket. It swings back. Oh, nearly. Allen taking the mark. Would have been a ripper. He's missed to the right and out of bounds on the full. Beautiful day here at Toora. A little bit breezy, but beautiful sky. Ground is in excellent condition. Everyone at the Toora Football Club, Matty, should be congratulated on the way this ground has been presented today.
They have. They've done a fantastic job. I remember seeing it online this morning, and I'm like, how good does this ground look?
That was their little TikTok video.
It was.
That was a ripper, wasn't it?
was.
This is what I mean about their social media.
They do a great job.
Don't they?
Considering this ground was very muddy in the Carlton draft game, not even 3 or 4 weeks ago, it's come up a real treat.
It has, and the canteen is fully stocked. Lots of food. So if you're not here, it's okay. Stay in front of your tally. As the ball comes up outside defensive 50, comes off the hands of Harris. Ball spills free. Allen laying the tackle. He's in amongst everything, isn't he, Nathan Allen?
Yep, let's just see if Bastian goes to him here.
Yep, he's picking himself up off the ground and going straight. No, he's called
pointed the
someone.
finger because he was left out of the contest.
Yep, got Cripps to cover him. Cook, fresh air shot. Corrie feeds it out the back. And high free kick against Rathjen will go to Stewart. Wayne Stewart always going to wheel onto that left foot. Beautiful kick to the right spot. Oh, just read it better than everyone, Morris. Bryden flew.
Just didn't put his hands up, though.
No, yeah, and just impeded leading his teammate. Clark feeds it off to Thornell on the wing. They're going to go inside 50 after that really quickly. Forrester did well to get it to Ray. He feeds it back to the outside. Now they're away. Moscript. Oh, has his kick smothered by Clark. Lucks a fortune. Ends up in the hands of Goss. Goes up towards half forward. Out over the boundary line. Well, the boundary throw in centre wing position out of side of the ground. On the Ray White Leongatha time clock. We've gone 8 minutes into this third quarter. 23-point lead to the Tigers. Harris wins the tap in front of Allett. Chopped off. Crone. Gone towards the boundary and it's carried out over. The free kick out of side. Tigers will take it. They're loaded back here, the Demons too. So he has to lower his eyes and Corrie just nudges Bastian underneath it. Couldn't take the mark. Goes to ground. Not getting away with it. Anyone there. And they're just playing someone just sitting in front right now. That's Ray sitting in front of Forrester and Best.
Yep.
Making it very hard for the kick to come in. And the Tigers are really holding that footy up and not knowing where to go. And
that's what they did so well last week early on.
Jumped early, Harris, and just enabled Allett to do what he wants. But Allett hasn't, he lost Bon early, the Demons, and Allett hasn't had it all his own way.
No, Harris has done actually a really good job.
Yeah. So we're going to get a free kick here. We'll go to the Tigers. Banbury, left foot, beautiful kick to Best. Just bounces in front of him. Goss comes back to help Forrester. Best is up to the challenge. Gets the handball. Clark taps it to Rathjen. He's tackled. Hurried right foot, check side. Hits the point post. Out of bounds on the full. So the Demons go to the outer side through Wilson. Leedon punches it away from Morris. Goes out over the boundary line. So they've moved Leedon into that back part. Stewart's gone to Williams.
Yep. Which I don't mind because that means Williams has got to be accountable because Stewart's very good too.
And as Jack Weston said at half time, Williams is so balanced and plays that
wing so well.
Just can't afford to give him what he wants, and that's space. We're going to restart. So we haven't seen a goal this quarter, Matt.
We haven't, but I think that's MDU have actually set up really well for the start of this quarter. Something that they really didn't do in the first half.
So those 2 red time goals in the second quarter of the Tigers hurts the Demons big time. They need to score. Rathjen overruns it. Wilson bouncing off Clark.
There's going to have to be a time, though, with MDU. They've got to start daring, and that might be you lose some goals.
Yeah.
But you've got to take that chance.
Yeah, it gets to a stage you've got to lose by 50 to try to win by 1.
That's exactly right. It's finals footy, no tomorrow.
That's right. Banbury goes to ground. Ends up in the hands of Walsh. Up towards half forward, Ashley Allen. Gets through his hands. Bryden's there, been quiet today. Left foot kick. Free kick's going to go to right here for the Demons.
And that made Dylan Williams follow to the other side of the wing that he hasn't done all day, because he had to follow Stewart across.
So Lockie Wright, wrong side for a left footer. Going to take a wonderful kick from here for his third. Gets it under 20 points if he can do it. 17 to be exact. So Wright, he lays it up. Comes off the hands of the pack. Toner, hurry kick forward. Off the toe of Hoy to Wilson. He's going to get the high free kick here from against Hopner.
Slipped at the right time, didn't he, Brad?
Unfortunately, you hear the crowd when that happens and they say, oh, he ducked or he slipped. Well, if he slipped, it's just bad luck.
Yeah, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it?
One of those bad, unlucky free kicks. But Sam Wilson will get a shot on goal. They have to kick at 48. He wants to sit it right, Matty, I would have thought.
Yes, definitely. I don't think it's as strong as it has been, though. It looks like it's died off a little bit.
Yep. So in comes Wilson. Set it left, and it's going to go further left. You can't even aim for the middle of that goal. You've got to be right goalpost at a bare minimum. And another behind. Crowd's gone quiet here.
It has.
No scoring usually does it. No. It's only one behind in the quarter as Morris brings the ball back into play, hits the middle of the ground in the end. Going low and hard. Is that Banbury again? It is.
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball. I thought he might have got a high early on that one, but it'll go to the Demons. And again, Hoy screaming on this wing. And they didn't use him. They'll go forward, though. It's a one-on-one. Right, holds the front position. Gets out over the back.
Great pressure.
It was magnificent. He just got his foot to it in the end. And if he didn't, he was in a lot of trouble. And
He's on the right side too. He's left footer, isn't he?
I'm struggling to see who that is. I reckon that's a number. Am I right in saying... Oh, no, it was Ray. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was Craig Ray, I think.
Oh,
anyway.
That's a nice kick.
Lockie, right. He's missed a couple of easier ones, but hey.
That's nearly goal of the day, Brad.
That is a real contender for the Foster IGA goal of the day. There's no doubt about that. Lockie Wright's third.
Yep.
And they go on to 6-2-38. They trail by 16 points now, MDU.
They're just hanging around.
They are. Foster are on 8-6-54. That's on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard. We've gone 14 minutes on the Ray White Leongatha time clock, and they're just not going away, Matt Mosley.
Yep. And look who they've brought into the middle. Jake Best.
It's always
the way, isn't it?
When they need him. Allett roves his own tap work. It comes out to Allen. Might have been tackled without it, or he might have played for it. Comes out to Moscript. There's Allen there. He gets a shepherd from Crone. Feeds it off to Goss. Had a bit on it. He's got a free kick over the outer side, though. Demons will take that free kick in between wing and half forward. Moscript travels up further, and
Numbers really getting back now.
aren't they the Tigers? Yeah. And Best is one of them, and he takes the mark in the slot in front of Bryden, and he needs to lift. Out to Cook as it punched away from him by Goss. Done really well, Goss, then.
Yep. Looked like Cook had it.
Yeah, and as you've said, he's got a beautiful pair of hands, Michael Cook. So they have kept them goalless. They've got one themselves, but they'll need a couple more if there to be any chance.
It's the story over the last 2 weeks with MDU. they've been super, but they just leak goals at the wrong time. That's sort of been the difference.
Yeah, coaches hate those red time goals. Allett wins it from Harris. Comes out to Rathjen. He's tackled by Walsh. Allen's there, but it beats him out over the boundary line. And we've got a boundary throw in. Right half forward flank for Foster. Gets out over the back. Best lays the tackle on Bromley. Harris wins that tap. Again, just can't get room and space off the stoppage. Allett round the back. He was looking for Neville, sharked away though. Ends up in the hands of Bromley. Gee, they have Stewart if they can get it to him. Goss receives it from Crone, goes back into trouble. They should have got it out to Stewart quickly.
Yeah.
He was away, and the free kick is going to go to Seagat, and he'll have an opportunity for his third. So you'll have to kick at 48 here. It's probably the pocket to be shooting from. Sit it to the left goal post, and it should come back. He's not going to get the distance. He's mongrelled that. Comes off the hands of the pack. Oh, my God. How was that allowed to happen? Was that Eddie Smith? No, I'll tell you who that was. Levi Lidston. So Levi Lidston gets his first for the day. Foster get their first for the quarter. They go on to 9-6-60. MDU 6-2-38. 22-point lead. Nearly 18 minutes gone in the third quarter. It's on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard.
It's a shame for MDU. They have dominated play for most of this quarter, and they just let another one sneak through.
Yes, you won't be happy with that, Nathan Allen, as Harris wins the tap. Hickey back to Nathan Allen. Taken by Best. Sends him inside with a thumping kick off one step. Green. Back to that boy, Lidston. He was tackled there by Forrester. Umpire says the tackle was okay. Green wins the tap. Best does really well. Unlucky. And ends up down the throat of Crone. So Connor Crone. Short. Still inside defensive 50 to Hickey. Again short. Finds Leiden. They're not coming back in the middle like they were last week as much.
Not as aggressive, but look at Hoy. He's there waiting.
Yeah. They've missed him a few times. They go back to Crone. Now Hoy is running backwards for him to kick to space. He's got Stewart. That's a better play.
Yeah.
Finds him
Now
on the
they're
wing.
off.
Quickly wheels to the left foot. What's he got forward? He's got right at the back. Good punch away there from Ray. Handballed off to the outside. Perry.
Oh.
Ends up in the hands of Walsh. Flying
Looks
shot
good.
at goal. Oh, did Bryden do enough?
He
I
did.
think he has.
All clear.
Shay Walsh gets his second. Good work from Bryden. Hasn't done a lot today, but that Shepherd in the goal square, Matty Mosley, was good.
It was good. It was very good. And Hoy has been screaming for that to happen for the last 15 minutes. And look what happens. Dangerous. They score.
So that's the Connor Crone kick. He hasn't attempted it a few times. He finally does it with a beautiful kick to Stewart, and he gets him inside 50.
Well, it made Dylan Williams go to Hoy, and he kicked over the top to Stewart, and Stewart turned and went really well.
So they're not going away. It's back to 16 points here in the third quarter. Best feeds it back. Toner up towards half forward. Lidston and Goss. Goss trips over. Cook feeds it out. Now they're away, the Demons again. High ball. Good punch from behind by Van Dyke and his 200th. Wilson wants the boundary and gets it. So we're right in front of the Sports Stream Live broadcast box here at the Toora Rec Reserve. Into time on. 16 points. They're back in it, the Demons. Allett, won by Harris though, comes out. Williams had a quiet quarter this one. Nathan Allen wins a free kick. One here before three-quarter time. Matt, would be interesting.
Yep, they definitely need it.
Nathan Allen towards right in the pocket. Well read from behind.
He's had a great game, Morris.
He has. He has. In fact, is that Morris? I reckon it's
Ray. Sorry.
He goes short to Toner, who's been brilliant today. Again, short to Banbury. Cook leads up. They want to milk the quarter. Goes over Cook's head. Allett has the set, gets through his hands. Really well done by Forrester.
Oh.
Runs away. They're away here.
Yeah.
Walsh has the footy in the pocket. Ashley Allen. Kick's not good though, and Ray leaves his man, runs off and defends really well, and then mops up his own work. Good footy. Through the hands of Harris. Rathjen. Best. Receives it from Toner. Bastion, sorry. Into the forward 50. Green. Wheels around onto the right foot. Just got to sit for Thornell. It doesn't. Hoy does well. Thornell gets a second chance. And he kicks a goal.
Started down back, didn't it?
Certainly did. They all go to Craig Ray.
Yeah.
And rightly so. He left his opponent, had the courage. If he didn't fist that ball, the kick of Walsh's wasn't good enough though, Matt.
Well, it's a 2-goal turnaround, really.
He kicked it in between the two Demons. I know he was looking for Lockie Wright. Just wasn't good enough in the end. And it's a 12-point turnaround.
Yeah. Yep.
Good footy by the Tigers in the end though. And Thornell just stuck at his task down there.
He did. And the ball movement again. It was quick.
Great bit of footy. It's been a great quarter of footy. Not a lot of goals kicked. Oh, actually, there's 4. It's not too bad, but it's just been good footy. So 10-6-66 Foster, MDU 7-2-44, 23 gone on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard, all thanks to Ray White, Leongatha. And another contender for the Foster IGA goal of the day. There's a few of them. And right now, the Exchange Hotel Foster player of the day is going to be pretty hard in the 3-2-1 because no one's had a real dominant three quarters, but they're bobbing up in and out, aren't they?
They are. Dylan Williams has probably had a quieter quarter, but a super first half.
Yep, there's Toner and Bastion and Allen and Ray, and there's a
lot
lot of them.
Up.
And there is Bastion. He leaves it for that man Williams. Gets through the gate on the left foot, looking for Banbury, but gee, Forrester did well. Just nudged him underneath it. In fact, that wasn't Banbury, it was Smith. He was able to read it really well. Forrester goes to the outer side to the coach, Allen, to Bryden. I reckon this is only his 3rd kick. He sits it high. Stewart stays down again. Ray gets the fist on it. Harris falls over. Ooh, coming in on his back. I thought was best, but no. We'll get a ball up, 50 out from the Demons' goal. They come in on it. Ready for this siren because it will blow your ears out. Allett and Harris. Harris wins the tap. Not enough width on it to cause any problems. And Van Dyke, smothered kick. They dive across it again. .22 lead to the Tigers. Allett wins the tap.
Oh.
Bunch of players going across it. Umpire Ryan Bosch says, give it to me. Allett wins it again. Rathjen gets a fist on it, taps it clear. Hickey collects it, and they set upon him. He's paid holding the ball.
Wake up, you idiot!
Sporter's not happy there with that one, Brad.
Not happy at all. Bastion wanted it, but the umpire said, no, that's Rathjen's. So Rathjen, out of side. just need to control the footy now. That's what they're going to do. They chip up to Bastion on the outer wing. And good, the captain. Going to milk every bit of this time clock. Kick's not great. Hits the instep. Wilson does well. You need to spread and go quick here. He's gone back to where it come. Bryden couldn't take the mark. Feeds it back to Bromley. Has his kick smothered. Hickey's tackled. Umpire says, give it to me. Allett down to Hopner. Feeds it to the outs. Three-quarter time. And Foster, 10-6-66. And they made some inroads, the Demons, and they are at 7-2-44. But then the Tigers got away again in the end, Matt.
They did.
And at three-quarter time, it's a 22-point lead to the Tigers. We'll take a quick break. And when we come back from the break, we'll get Matty Mosley to go through all the goal kickers. We'll talk about the better players. And we'll ask Matt Mosley, the 200-game Gippsland big man, what MDU has to do to win this first elimination final. Welcome back to the Toora Rec Reserve in elimination final number 1. And it is a 22-point lead to Foster. Matty Mosley. Who are the goal kickers?
For the Tigers, we have Jonathan Segnet with 2, Jake Best with 2, Michael Cook with 2, Jack Rasgen with 2, and Jake Thornell with 1. Oh, and Levi Lidston with 1 as well.
And for MDU?
Ashley Allen with 1 and Ben Perry with 1.
Have you found that siren today, Matty?
I'm gonna need hearing aids after this. It's made me go deaf.
Unbelievable. And I'm going to ask the question of Toora. I'd like to know why they have that siren. Normally they have those sirens if you're near a train line, so it doesn't get confused with a train.
This is a very old school siren.
I reckon there's no train within how far we...
We'd have to go over the valley, I think.
to find out. Who are your better players for Foster?
Well, I think Dylan Williams has played really well. I think Craig Ray had a super third quarter. Michael Cook started off well in the first half, so did Jake Best for the Tigers so far. Josh Toner has also been really consistent all the way through as well.
And for the MDU side?
I think Stewart was really good when he went on to Dylan Williams. He made him a lot more accountable. Lockie Wright, he's done a super job as well, going forward, taking Darren Sheen's spot, and obviously the coach has been busy, but he's getting the tag role on him now.
Right now, who do we think is leading? There's a few of them. There's been 17 goals kicked, but there's been some good ones. So the Foster IGA goal of the day, who's your early leader?
Well, I like Segnet's goal, the snap.
Seagat?
Yeah, Seagat, sorry. I like the snap. That was a great goal.
Yep, it was a beauty. What about the JBN Cartage mark of the day?
Josh Toner in the first quarter. Very courageous, yep.
Jonathan Brown grab.
Yep.
And right now, we don't have to know, but the Exchange Hotel Foster player of the day, will both give 3, 2, 1 at the end of the game, and we'll put our votes together and we'll come up with that Exchange Hotel Foster player of the day. And don't forget, tomorrow, the big game out at Willow Grove, Elimination Final 2 between Morwell East and Newborough, and the winner of that plays the winner of this next Sunday out at Yanar.
Out at Yanar Town.
Your area.
Yep.
As I'll just mute that effects mic, because what has been happening, if you're getting a glitch watching this, it's when that siren goes, it is blowing the hell out of power, internet and audio every time that siren is hitting. So we just mute that whilst they'll blow that siren, and then we'll be away.
As good as Jack Weston's been today, we need to have a word with him with that siren.
Yes. You probably still heard it anyway, as we're underway for the last quarter. Neville to Bromley. High kick towards half forward. Bouncing ball gets back out over Morris's head, but he's good enough to get back onto it. Ryden's there for the Demons. He goes low and hard. Was it below the knee contact on the Tiger player in Neville? Umpire says no. So umpire Blunt puts it into the air. Allett wins the tap to Hopner. Feeds it off. High kick from Thornell in the middle of the ground. Late inclusion Banbury. Wheels around onto the left foot. That's a beautiful kick to Best. Has a little bit of room on Forrester. He's able to get the fist to it, but Best just works beautifully well and gets it to Clark in the pocket.
A forward knows what it's like to be kicked to. So he does exactly the same. Get it in quick. Kicked it to the fat side of him. It was a beautiful kick.
Sensational. Clark for his first of the day. He's hit the post, has he?
He has.
Leaves the door ajar. It's out to 4 goals at the moment. First minute in this last quarter. Short to Hoy. Takes the mark in front of Cook. So got Best up on the ball at the moment. No, he's staying forward. I thought he was going to drift up. Gets out over Van Dyke's head. Bounces back to him. He backs back. Allen tackles. Yep. Good decision.
Call. Yep.
So Nathan Allen, he'll want to go quick. But he's got to have movement too. And he hasn't got it. He's got it short. So he decides to go wide. Hoy's given an avenue out this end area all day. Over Wilson's head. Williams. Bromley. Leaves it for Hickey. Dances around Hopner. Goes up towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Ray, been great. Hurried kick. I've liked this boy's game as well, Sam Wilson. He's called to play on because he come off the line.
Oh, no.
They come at him. Hopner, Neville, they're all there. Hickey.
Probably the best outcome for the D's.
Was. Runs out over the boundary line with a boundary throwing, centre wing position. Right in front of the Sports Stream Live commentary box. Brings it back into play. Allett, high on Neville. Positions himself well, umpire Blunt, I've got to say.
Yep.
A lot of umpires miss that because they're blindsided. He gets himself to the right spot. Neville, floater, inside 50. Still limping is Forrester. Hoy wins it, goes out. Yeah, he's definitely limping that left ankle, Forrester. So he's been courageous to get through this. Out towards the boundary line, and Thornell's asking for deliberate. You're not going to get it.
No.
Very rarely see it paid, and it's not going to get paid this time. So either boundary throw in, 55 around from the Foster goal. They lead by 23 points. And we're going 3.5 minutes on the Ray White Leongatha time clock. Allen takes it away, up the wing. They need to go quick, this time they do.
That's a lot better.
Towards Corrie, Williams is there. Smothered handball. It's going to come back forward with a long kick from Neville. Out towards the boundary, beats Clark out over the line with a boundary throw-in. Same spot we had a boundary throw-in only 30 seconds ago, 55 around from the Tigers' goal.
Tigers will be more than happy with this, just eating the time away.
In it comes. Allett hasn't had to do a lot today.
No, he
Hotness
hasn't.
tackle. Ball spills free. Rathjen has it punched away from him by Crone and goes out over the boundary line. We heard Jack Weston, the Toora coach, say at half-time, Matt, that the winner today, that extra day next Sunday to play the winner of Morwell East and Newborough is huge.
It is, especially with the Foster boys. They are a little bit older, and I don't care what anyone says. If you can get that extra day of recovery, it'll be a big help for them.
Cook takes it out of the ruck. Feeds it off to Best. Put your glasses down. He don't miss them. He has missed that one.
Oh. That's the way it goes, isn't it, Brad?
Silly boy, mate. He's kicked a few points again today.
He has.
Best, he's got 2 goals. I reckon he might have 5 points again, which he kicked last week. Kicked 5-5 last week.
Did he? Kicked 5-5.
He's getting enough shots at it.
Yep.
Hoy, bring the ball back into play for the Demons. Out towards his coach, Nathan Allen. Nice kick. Takes the mark. Umpire calls him to play on. He come off his line, goes to the centre. Van Dyke couldn't take the mark. Bryden comes in late. Umpire's pulled a free kick of holding. It's going to go to Van Dyke on his 200th game.
Nope.
No, it's Bastian.
The captain.
Sebastian now. It's so Bastian, I said, not Sebastian. Inside 50. Cook flies high but misses it. Comes to the ground. Pack of players on this. Bromley picks himself up. 40 around from the Foster goal. Allett wins the tap. Oh, really well done by Kelly. And gets a kick towards the wing. Ashley Allen can't take it. That man Van Dyke can. Ashley Allen's been quiet.
He has.
Van Dyke inside 50. They all go. Really didn't affect it. Cook's able to feed it out to Clark. Nice sharp hands to Neville. He gives it back to Banbury on the left foot. Misses to the right.
They look flat, MDU. You wouldn't think their season's on the line, would you?
I'd like to know the injury to Sheen.
Yeah, he was there and he was gone.
There was nothing that we've seen
No.
at all. And
he's not on the bench.
I haven't seen him on the box. I haven't seen him at a huddle.
No.
Which tells me he's left the building. And if he's left the building, is at a hospital? I don't know. We're trying to find out as kick away from Bromley finds the boundary right in front of the Sports Stream Live broadcast box. Allett, Hopner, Neville has everyone behind him. Really good footy. Bastian.
Oh.
Just reads it well. He
Must
gives
have
it
been
off to his
touched.
mate Best to Cook. To Banbury. Bouncing ball. Seagat. No. In fact, it was Thornell. He's missed to the left. He's got one today. Hoy. Bring it back into play for the Demons. Straight up the middle. Long kick. Oh, Morris reads it well in front. A really good mark in front of Leiden. Yeah, they'll just play, take your time, won't they, Matty?
Yeah, the stings feels like it's getting taken out a little bit now.
There's no hurry for the Tigers. Rathjen. Oh, comes off his hands, gets to the front. Smith can't take it, Best can. Gives it to Williams. Gets around onto his favoured left foot. High ball to Cork. Got to beat 2. Hoy bounces back into his hands. He gets around the tackle.
Well done.
Feeds it outside, and that's Ashley Allen on the outer side. It's going to go short to Corrie. Quiet after half-time. A great first half. Inside to Harris. I reckon he's done a mountain of work since Bond went down in the first minute and a half.
Yep.
Back to Corrie. Up towards half forward. Hickey liked his game as well. Gets around Williams. Right foot for right. Has too much on it. Punched away. Ends up in the hands of Cripps. Williams.
He's there every time, Dylan Williams.
Yes, super player. Up the wing. Got through the hands of Cook, and second grab was over the line, so the boundary umpire says out of bounds. 9 minutes gone, 26-point lead. 2 quick ones might change it. They got to get them though. Harris.
They got to get moving.
Hickey to the outside, chopped off by Seagat to Hopner to Bastion. Bastion on the right foot, 1-on-1. That's how Best wants it. He leads his opponent in Forrest underneath it, but the boundary line is too close. Trickles out over. Right forward pocket for the Tigers. Watch for Neville here.
Just
Comes
lurking.
in. Yes. Oh, well done. Banbury. Left foot. It's going to trickle out over left forward pocket.
For a guy who was not picked today, he's nearly been in their best. Banbury.
Well, we did talk about that. We were surprised
We were
that he
shocked.
wasn't in.
Yeah, we were shocked.
Thought he was very good last week.
Yeah.
But balance, they wanted Bartholomew in, but he wasn't able to take his spot. To the late inclusion, Banbury, as you rightly say, has been great. It's going to go out of bounds again. Left forward pocket for the Tigers. 10.5 gone on the Ray White Leongatha time clock. Last quarter. Elimination final number 1. The TTMI Case IH elimination final. Best at the back, double tackled. Bromley might have wore the full brunt of that as Best come down on him. He's been thereabouts, Forrester, every time Best's been near it.
He has. He
I reckon
has.
he's done really well.
Hasn't had the dominance as he had last week.
We did think Forrester would play in the midfield.
Yeah. Obviously a plan they had before the game.
Yeah, yeah. So that whole interchange of Allen, Bryden and Hickey that was named started.
Yeah, it did.
Harris wins the tap. Out to Kelly. Green's there for the Tigers though, and he takes the mark. So he's 65 out from goal. He'll look to lay this up. A lot of Demons have propped themselves in that hole though. So he sits it up high and hopes for the best. Harris just nudged out underneath it from Best, and the umpire was onto it.
Yep.
I've really liked the umpiring of Robert Blunt today. I just think he gets to right positions, which enables him to see what's going on. And again, someone's limping away. It's a Demon again, and I reckon that's Bromley.
Yep.
It is. Gee. They're lucky that, well, I shouldn't say the game's not over. Corrie, if they do lose, they're lucky they're not playing next week, Matty. Crippled.
Half their twos will be coming up.
Yes. As Crone takes the mark. Not a great kick. Wilson drops the handball from Kelly, and the umpire's pulled a free kick here. It's going to go to, I thought it was Seagat, but it's actually going to Lidston. Feeds it off to Williams. Floater. Mongrel breaking, finger breaking, punt. Gets inside 50. Geez, luck's a fortune. It's all Tigers. Banbury Not a great kick to Best. Again, Forrester was playing him like a glove and advantage paid. Kicked away from Moscript towards the coach in Allen. Back to Moscript. Draws the player to him. Gives it off to Perry. It's going to be a free kick to the Tigers. Good pressure. They stuck out at Morris.
It is, but they've got nothing to kick to. That's why they keep just handballing it around, and the turnover comes.
So in that case, Ashley Allen's the high forward. Is he not up high enough, Matt? Is he too far back on his heels and not presenting at the ball carrier?
He is, but I also think Bryden was too far back as well. He needs to push up higher to the ground.
Gets out over the back. Forrester taps it away from Best. Hoy has his kick smothered brilliantly well by Neville. Just love the way Brendan Neville goes about it. Harris to Hoy. Has his kick smothered, and have a guess who? Neville again. If he hasn't had half a dozen to 8 smothers, it's those little things that Brendan Neville does.
Unnoticed. Yeah.
Harris tapped away. Cook wins the shark. Handballs towards Smith. Nathan Allen picks it up for MDU. He's going to clear it up the wing. It's 2-on-1 for Tigers' way. Goes through Green's hands. Comes out the back to Van Dyke. Feeds it off towards Morris. It's chopped off. He's going to get a free kick. No, I thought it was in the back to Morris. Against Ashley Allen, not paid. Van Dyke again. Has a go at it. Bryden lays the tackle. The umpire will bounce this down in between wing and half forward for the Demons. Allen. Harris wins the tap. Out to Nathan Allen. Goes inside 50. Right in the one-on-one. Bouncing ball. Hickey's lurking, but Cripps is up to it, and it's a rush behind for the Demons. 15 minutes gone on the Ray White Leongatha time clock last quarter. First elimination final. The TTMI Case IH feature match on Sports Stream Live. Williams gives it back. Short, still inside defensive 50. It's Latour in his return game today. Out towards the broadcast side of the ground to Cook. Has it punched away from him by Kelly. Really well done by Toner. Wrapped up, able to get his handball away, but not going anywhere, and we'll get a restart. Still in centre wing position. Allett to Banbury, to Neville, out to Williams. Non-preferred right, high ball. Lidston. Oh, well done by Goss, able to get his fist to it. Harris is wrapped up by Bastion. He had Pryor. And the captain will get the free kick for the Tigers. And he's been good, Todd Bastion, and he's got to be in the discussion for Exchange Hotel Foster Player of the Day. And so is this guy, Williams. High ball from Toner. Reads it well. Does Bromley. Transfers play to Nathan Allen. Short ball inside the centre square to Moscript. Out to the outer side. Hoy, been good as well. Ashley Allen. Inside 50, hits
nice
up
kick.
Walsh. I'll tell you who I haven't seen for a while is Wayne Stewart.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's
He's
another
come off.
injured player, but I have not seen him for a while. I haven't seen him this last quarter, that's for sure. So they've been riddled with injury, so probably done quite well to be 25 points in it. This will bring it to 19 as Walsh comes in.
Looks good.
Not a problem. And he gets his third for the day, so he's got to be in the discussion for the Exchange Hotel Foster Player of the Day.
Definitely one of the better players for MDU.
And on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard, Foster 11-10-76. MDU won't go away, 8-3-51. We've gone 17.5 minutes on the Ray White Leongatha time clock. And there's Stewart now,
He's
back on the wing.
Yep.
And he's gone back to Dylan Williams. And you notice Stewart's off, Williams starts getting a bit of it.
Every single time.
Allett wins the tap. Goes to ground. Neville. Always. He's in the discussion too. Don't worry about that.
He's had a massive last quarter, hasn't he?
Yes. Quickly plays on. Inside 50. Not a great kick. And I haven't mind Cron's game either. Goes to the outer side to Mo Script. Has the coach short. So you've got to go to him. Allen up towards Bryden. Uses the body well. He's going to get a free kick too. So Bryden. Just a kick in hope, wasn't it? Van Dyke is able to take the mark. I remember his 200th game for the club in an elimination final win, you would think.
Yep.
Nearly into time on, 25 points down. Harris liked his game. He's tried hard. Goes towards centre half forward, but there he is.
Dylan Williams.
Just reads it so beautifully well as a defending wingman. Out of side. Yep, it's going to milk this down. That's Thornell.
He would arguably be the best wingman in the competition, I think, Brad.
From what I've seen this year,
There's
most
no
definitely.
There's no other better wingman.
Most definitely. I've seen him in only the 3 games.
Yep.
And the first game against Mubu North, he was best on ground. Second game last week, arguably again.
Yep.
And today
Again.
could very well be the Exchange Hotel Foster player of the day.
Yeah, if you're an opposition, you definitely got to put some work into it and shut him down. Because they give him the footy.
Yeah. Yep. And right now I see Stewart stand in the middle of the ground.
Yep.
Number 3 for the Demons, you can see on screen. So he's giving him that position back. And I don't know if you can afford to. I know you can come through Stewart and use him.
Yep.
But if they're not doing that.
Nah.
They're going for the long get out of jail, kick down the line.
Yep. They've done it all day.
Yeah, and then Foster square it over to Williams.
Yep.
So Clark feeds it back. Kick smothered. And a lot of them today is Allett does well.
That's a rare kick for the big ruckman.
It is. He normally handballs best. Reads it better than everyone. Kick's not great. He's going to go on the full. Goss will be the recipient of the free kick for the Demons.
And I love how Williams is accountable for his player. He pushes across.
Yeah. Yep. Forrester squares it. Gets it out over the back to Stewart. The bounce doesn't favour him, but it does Hickey. Gives it to Corrie. Goes up towards Stewart. Bouncing balls. Got to sit for him. It does. Toner comes in and lays a tackle and takes him out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. Half forward flank, left half forward flank for the Demons. Tap favours Hopner in the end. There's no one to go to, so he wants the boundary.
Boundary's his friend.
And I know at the top level that'd be called deliberate.
Yep, especially this time of the day.
Or insufficient.
Yep, 4th quarter.
Yes. So no around the ground scores today because this is the only mid-Gippsland game. Neville loved his last quarter. This bloke had a quiet third, but his first, second and fourth has been dominant. Williams up towards the wing. Cook. Good tackle from Cron. So we're right in front of the Sports Stream broadcast box. Alex got the free kick. Umpire Blunt said he was tackled without it by Harris. So another kick to the big fella in a one-on-one. And I've liked his game.
He has. He's played well.
Yeah, I think Forrester's done well. And so is this man, the coach, Allen.
Never stops trying.
To Wilson. Oh, beautiful kick to Moscript on the outer wing. Didn't have to break stride. He comes back inboard to Ashley Allen. He's going to go to Corrie. Good kick again. This is the way they played more of last week.
Yeah.
Took that middle of the ground on. And now the kick gets a one-on-one to right. Oh, he reads that well. Protected the ball drop.
Got a free kick.
And got the free kick. Oh, he quickly plays on. Snaps around the corner. And Lockie Wright has his 4th for the day. 9-3-57 MDU. Foster 10-10-70. It's 13 points.
You wouldn't know it, though,
You
would you?
would not know. We've ticked over 23 minutes, though, on the TTMI Case IH scoreboard, and you're spot on, Matt Mosley.
Like, they just got a goal then, and you wouldn't know it. It was very flat. No one sort of got around it.
13 points. Losing your ruckman a minute and a half in, your full forward 15 minutes into the game, a big full forward that's kicked 1,200 goals, and they just haven't gone away. It blew out to 33 points.
And those 2 goals just in the was in the second quarter.
Just before half-time,
That's
yeah.
right. Could be a 1-point game.
Yes. As Stewart, handball to Allen. It's not over. They go inside, bouncing ball. Ashley Allen, grubber, needs it to bounce right. It bounced left. 12 points. Could be
19.
extra time. Is it? Oh, it's, actually, the scoreboard's wrong. I've got 12. Okay.
18.
18. 3 goals. Oh, okay. Well, that is wrong. So we've got 11-10-76. They've got 10-10-70. So I'm reading the scoreboard. I'll start reading our monitor and go with that. 11-10 to 9-4. So it's 18 points. Mark on the outer wing. Rathjen for the Tigers. Short. Doesn't get there, and it's chopped off by Leedon. Cook mops it up for the Tigers. There he is again, Forrester, reading it well, feeds it back to Goss. Has Stewart on the extreme outside. Yep, front on contact against Morris, so Stewart will take the free kick. Still inside defensive 50. If he's quick enough, he's got Hickey. Goes shorter to Corrie. Can't afford to take your time. And that's a mongrel punt. That is a shocking kick. And then drop, but has the time, Ray, to mop up. In fact, it was Thornell. Now Green to Morris. They don't need to go quick here.
Nah.
So he'll just chip. He does. Got the player in the pocket. Cripps, he dives and can't keep his feet. In fact, it was Seagat. And it's all over. And Foster. We're going to go with our score, 11-10-76. Have run out 3 goal winners, 9-4-58. And if I quickly look at the goal kickers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Well, I've got 10. The internet, our monitor's got 11, and the scoreboard's got 10. I reckon it is 10-10-70. Okay. I've got 10 on my paperwork. I've got 2 to Seagat, 2 to Best, 2 to Cook, 2 to Rathjen, singles to Lidston and Thornell, which makes 10. And it's 10-10-70. And they've won by 12 points. Goal kickers for MDU, 9-4-58, 4 to Lockie Wright, 3 to Shay Walsh, and then singles to Ashley Allen and Ben Perry gives them their 9. They've lost this in the end by 2 goals, Matt Mosley. Can you believe that?
And it was the 2-goal junk time goals is the difference. I honestly thought over the 2 games that they've played, MDU have been the better side.
Yeah.
Overall.
The game last week was 8 points, and then this week it's 12 points.
Yep.
MDU's 2 changes. One of them's Sheen that comes in, and the other one is Forrester. And I thought Forrester did really well.
Yeah, and then they had those 2 horror injuries in the first quarter.
Sheen lasts 15 minutes, which is unfortunate.
It is.
And Bond lasts a minute and a half.
Yeah, and that looked nasty.
Yes.
That did look nasty.
Yeah, it did. And it's, you know, at the end of the day, Foster have won the game of footy, but MDU need to be commended.
They do.
And some good coaching in Nathan Allen's too.
Yes. Yeah, and I think Foster have still got a bit of work to do, I think. They want to take that next step. Yeah, they've got a little bit of work to do.
They have. We might take a real quick break. If you're still watching, stay with us. Don't go away. I've got a couple of surprises for you before the end of this broadcast. We will be speaking to Sam Davies. It seems a regular event. He'll come up and have a chat with us. We're going to go through 3 2s and 1s and get the Exchange Hotel Foster Player of the Day. We've got to give out the Foster IGA Goal of the Day, the JBN Cartage Mark of the Day. So hang tough, stay tuned. We'll be back on the other side of this. Welcome back to the Toora Recreational Reserve for the Sports Stream Live Elimination Final in the TTMI Case IH feature match of the round for Mid-Gippsland Football Netball League. And what a game it's been. 10-10-70 Foster. Run out 12-point winners over MDU 9-4-58. So it was 2 goals in the end. And goal kickers we've been through. So we won't go through them again. What we're going to do, Matty Mosley, we are going to talk about the Exchange Hotel Foster Player of the Day and give us your 3, 2, 1.
Well, I gave it all to the Tigers. I gave Dylan Williams 3 votes. I thought he was outstanding on the wing. Neville was really, really good. I gave him 2 votes. He got really busy doing all the hard work for the boys to get it out. And I gave 1 vote to Rary at full back. I thought he did a great job as well.
Craig Ray.
Sorry, Craig Ray.
Yes, he did do a good job, didn't he? Well, I've gone pretty similar. I've gone 3 votes to Dylan Williams. I've gone of Foster. I've gone 2 votes to Brendan Neville. And I've gone out of left field. I've given an MDU vote an MDU player 1 vote. And I've given it to Steve Forrester to keeping Jake Best 2 goals. And those 2 goals were kicked in the second quarter.
Yep.
So in the first, third and last, Forrester's actually kept Best goalless.
He did, and he did injure himself.
Yes,
with
the ankle in the first quarter.
And we can say he did have broken ribs.
Coming off broken ribs.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great game, and for him, I thought he was great. It's not to say that Jake Best wasn't good either, because he kicked 2-5.
Yep.
If that was 7, well, Forrester's not
story.
getting a vote.
Yeah, different story.
It's an amazing game, this one. They win to fight another day, and MDU do not. They're gone for the year. And tomorrow, it is Morwell and Newborough, Morwell East and Newborough, who are playing out at Willow Grove in elimination final number 2. And they will play the winner, Foster, next week out at your place, Yanar. And that promises to be an absolute ripper as well. And we are very fortunate, and we're going to have to start paying him a wage, I think, because he's in here every week at the moment, and that's a good sign when that's happening. And it's the coach of Foster, Sam Davies. Thanks for joining us again, and well done.
You boys can keep coming back every week.
You keep winning.
Yeah, we keep winning and just fighting away, as again today.
Unbelievable. It was unbelievable. It was in a couple of ways, and I've got to give credit to MDU. When they lost Bond and Sheen early, I thought gone, absolutely gone by a long way.
Yeah, yep.
And I thought Harris tried his damnness when he went into the ruck. I thought Forrester was okay on Best, and I actually give Forrester a vote.
Yeah, he was good on Jake.
Yeah,
he was very good.
I thought he did well, but again, our Exchange Hotel Foster Player of the Day was a guy I think I've given it every time we've called you. It was Dylan Williams.
He likes you.
Does
he likes you a lot, I think. I think they tried to tag him that first quarter, but
Stuart went on to him later on.
Yeah, and Wayne tried to be pretty aggressive on that wing. But no, Dill keeps doing his thing, keeps running his lanes and gets rewarded. So I think the most pleasing thing, as you said, Forrester did a very good job on Jake, but all the other boys stood up. I think Jack Ratton kicked the couple. Cookie obviously got 2 or 3. I think Michael Green might have got 1 or 2. So it's really pleasing from our point of view, even teams looking in, that we aren't that one-dimensional. There's a few options there, and we'll keep 10 goals 10 and probably missed a few easy ones as well. So the game's probably closer than potentially what it should have been. We could have really put them away early in that last quarter, then probably different times as well. But no, they're a very good outfit, Meeniyan. You know, they attacked the corridor very hard, and we put a few things in place during the week that worked for us.
We noticed that as well.
Yeah.
They were going inside a lot last week. Today, you're making them go wider.
Yeah, so we just brought a half forward up to the stoppage and protected that corridor, and the result speaks for itself. So no, we're very happy, but it's a hurdle we haven't been able to get over the last couple of years, so it's nice to tick it off finally.
First final win?
Yeah, for me, yeah, so it's nice. Very nice.
Brendan Neville, the work he does under packs.
37, Brendan.
It's unbelievable.
And he's still going like that. It's he's a credit to himself. He looks after his body more than of any football I've ever seen. Just the work he puts in, the time he puts in, and well, the results, as I said before, the results work, don't they? He's a marvel. He's a
Smother
marvel.
after smother on top of his underneath stuff.
Our work around the footy was really good today. Our pressure, our ball pressure, that's probably our one wood as we talk about, our ball pressure, and just how the way we set up. So I was very happy with the result.
We spoke about the extra day next week.
Yeah, just talked about that then.
Massive for you guys?
Yeah,
Especially being at Yunnar, bigger ground.
Yeah, it's probably similar to Meeniyan's ground, do you reckon?
Yeah, big ground. Yep,
Yeah,
very similar.
Everyone saw this time of year.
Yep.
Pleasingly, we got through with nothing major. There might be one or two to walk in next week. We'll just sort of see how they go during the week. But that extra day definitely will help, I think, because, yeah, it's just another day to rest the body, another day of recovery and do what they need to do. It looks like a wet week next week. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Got to ask you the question. Late in was Banbury for
And he was-
Tom
and he was good.
Bartholomew. I thought Banbury was great.
Bartholomew was never playing, mate.
He was never playing. He stitched us up in absolute beauty.
Well, I did not take him off. I did
Because he's
not
put
take
4 in
Banbury
there.
off my paperwork because I thought, you know what, I thought he was really good last
He was.
week.
He was never going. He's been our first change midfielder all year. No, Tom is good to go. It's just whether we pull the trigger or not with him.
He hasn't played much, has he?
He hasn't played much, and it's just we're trying to get that balance right down forward. And today it sort of worked, especially with those Rathjens and Sagat kicked a couple of goals.
Yes.
Those smalls and even Clarkey had a few shots here as well. So Tommy is available. We'll see what it looks like next weekend. But yeah, it's just.
So you're going more on system than sort of talent.
Yeah, I reckon. Just the way we play, we want chaos. They're a very controlled team, more Meeniyan. So we want a bit more chaos over control. That's sort of our mantra, process and chaos. So, no, well, today, if people are too sore, he can easily slot back in. So it's a nice
That's a nice little thing to have.
play up your sleeve. So he's only played, I think he's played 6 games, but Bendigo's a top 6. So he hasn't played any easy games either. So it's just getting that balance right.
Will you go out to Willow Grove tomorrow and have a look
Absolutely,
at that game?
our A-grade play. So I was going there no matter win, lose or draw today. So I'll definitely be out there. Supporting our A-grade, and I guess I'll have a look over the fence as well, which will be an interesting game. I haven't seen the East team, but Newborough have a few out, I'm pretty sure. And obviously East have come in, 3 losses in a row, and they've got a few sore bodies as well. So
It's exactly what we spoke to Jack Weston earlier, and he's exactly the same as you.
Yeah.
Both sore bodies.
So hopefully they go and smash each other tomorrow. Hopefully it starts raining early.
The weather's a big thing, isn't it?
Mate, it's perfect here today. Ours are winds at the start of the game.
Unbelievable. But for next week, that weather will play a big part. Will it play much in the way of selection?
It's supposed to be wet next Saturday.
Because you've got some big bodies around the ball. Obviously, your guys like Banbury and Hopner and then Neville that's so hard at it. They pick themselves wet weather, dry weather. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But have you got another surprise for us next week? Sam, I'm trying to ask.
I'm just waiting for the Gippsland power to go out so we can get Leongatha back. But
Well, there you go.
they've definitely got at least one more week and might be 2 or 3 after that.
So
that's
that
just more-
besides not wanting to play you further on as the season goes, if
that's
he put
true.
Willem back
Good
in.
call.
We're just going week by week, mate.
Yeah.
And we got through today, and we'll get through. Hopefully, have a look at next Sunday and see what happens. But yeah, we've only played it. We played there maybe twice. I think we played there. Was it last year? I think Leongatha played and kicked 6. I think we won.
I don't
that
think you
game.
have lost there. I think you
I
have been.
reckon the year before that we kicked a goal back real late on the siren maybe and got up there too. So
Yeah.
it is a bigger ground, but you know, Meeniyan was big. This ground's probably bigger than ours, I reckon.
Yep.
So it's just communication and process. That's all we look at
I'm
now.
hoping you might be able to help us here. We knew the Bond one, first of all, we thought ankle, but we think Achilles.
Nah, knee.
It was a
Knee.
knee.
Knee. Yep.
What about Shane?
Okay.
Because we didn't see.
That's the one we didn't know
I've got
about.
no idea. I just went and saw Kieran just after the game. Then he said, yeah, he's got an MRI booked in for Tuesday, just the outside of his knee. I don't know what Shane's done. He has had a back complaint all year.
We couldn't even find him in the
We
ground.
have not seen him.
I've not seen him.
A huddle or in the box.
Did he just get in his car and go?
Well, we don't know.
I'm not sure.
He
It's-
just disappeared.
Haven't seen him.
Yeah, not sure. Probably not me for comment on it. But I asked about in the that first quarter, where's Shane gone, and didn't see him again. So he's obviously something's flared up, or I'm not sure. I'll find out for you if you want.
What do you do Tuesday night? Quiet night?
We actually don't do much Tuesday night. I just leave the boys.
You're a Wednesday.
So I went to Wednesday for our Melbourne group and Thursday for our Foster group, and usually Monday, Tuesday. The boys done a bit of boxing at Tuesday with Scotty Binloss, and the Melbourne group just all gym, swim, that sort of thing. So we cut our Tuesdays out probably from halfway through the season, just to have that extra day of recovery, that the boys sort of do their own thing. A lot of them have families and jobs, so you're not going to get as much out of a Tuesday night at Foster than you either go for a swim or go to the gym or do your recovery that way. So we're pretty light on our feet this time of year, just a lot of communication. We'll clip this game up and have a look at a few clips again. And obviously, yeah, we'll get over there tomorrow. We've played obviously East twice this year, and Newborough once, but Newborough have never beat us in the history of the column, or last 4 years. So we've got a pretty good record against them. But yeah, whatever comes our way, we'll take it on and see what happens.
It's going to be my next question. Who would you rather meet? I think I've just got the answer.
Well, I remember seeing Sam write a column, and he reckons Morwell is the best side in the comp.
That was round one.
Yeah. I was going to say, what are your thoughts on that now?
When they were up, we were obviously a little bit underdone in round one, and they were up and going. They were good again against us in the wet. What's that, 6 weeks ago? Yeah. But we set up really poor. We've changed a few setups since then because of that game. They've also got Wangman up forward, who's a very, very good forward.
He's big and strong,
Diaz is back playing okay footy. That Michaelides is back in. Brad Kindley's obviously going all right, and they've got Isaac in their ruck. So they've got enough very good talent there.
Yeah, they do.
And they really rolled back heavily onto Jake when we played them. So if we do play them, we will have to change a few things, and we sort of know what their best looks like, and we're also very wary of Newborough as well, because they've obviously got a great depth. I think their twos are on top. Or
they've got a bit of a bean and bonnet with Foster, don't they?
They do.
They do.
They do.
I've picked that up quite well.
They do.
Well, with whatever happens, Sam, you've got a week's rest.
8 days.
8 days, sorry. Well,
even better.
Yeah, which is really good
it is.
At this time of year. And you've done well today. He picked MDU, I picked you guys. So just
only because
so
of the sheen
that.
factor, but I will turn around. Once I've seen him off, I'm like, I want to change.
It's, we think that, I think that you'll be playing Morwell East next week.
I think so too.
I think Matt thinks the same. Whoever you play, we seem to have you on the payroll now, so
yeah, hopefully there on that Sunday,
we're talking.
I'll be very happy when I see you guys are on, and I'll give it odds here.
Well, we don't. We're at Newborough next week, I think. So
on the Saturday, do you have the Saturday game?
We'll be in a truck next week. At this stage, we think we'll be in a truck, so you'll see us.
Oh, you're going to be there though.
So.
We won't.
Not the Sunday. We're on the Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Sorry, we won't see you on the Sunday.
That's disappointing.
We might see you at the preliminary final.
We might see you at the
touch wood. If our processes are right, we might make that far. We'll see how we go. Week at a time.
That's exactly right. I love it. But congratulations. Thanks for joining us again. And all the very best next week with whoever you play on the Sunday.
Thank you.
And good luck to the A-grade netball, and pass on our best wishes too.
Hopefully they go all right.
Yeah. They've come from a long way back too, haven't they?
Yeah, they started years slowly, but they've got the Anglin girls back in probably from round 4 or 5. Cal's had a baby and a couple more. So they've done all right. I think they beat they drew with Fish Creek, and they were just 3 goals off Morwell East. So
thereabouts.
Their best is good enough. Hopefully they rock up tomorrow and we keep the ball rolling and get a few teams for that Sunday.
Good stuff. Thanks again, Sam. That was
Appreciate
Sam Davies, the senior coach, the senior victorious coach in the first elimination final for Foster. And they have run out winners by 12 points in the end. Foster 10-10-70 to MDU 9-4-58. So they fight to live another day. MDU start to pack up, look at recruiting, and get ready for the pre-season over the hot summer, Matty Mosley, which I know you used to love, didn't you?
I loved it.
Used to love the
I
summers,
love it.
Pounding the pavement.
Oh, yeah.
That's a wrap-up from here at the Toora Recreation Reserve. We've got to thank some great sponsors that we've had today. Ray White, Leongatha, the Exchange Hotel Foster, who sponsored the player of the day that went to Dylan Williams. The Foster, before we go, IGA goal of the day went to Seagat. Snap.
Yep, and
the JBN Cartage mark of the day went to Jake Best.
No,
Josh Toner. Josh Toner.
The courageous mark.
So on behalf of Michael Robinson on the camera, Stephen Gregory on the buttons, Matt Mosley, my co-commentator, this is Brad Sinclair. We'll see you next Saturday out at the big game at Newborough between Fish Creek and Yanarn. Really looking forward to that one. I know you are.
Should be an absolute cracker.
Signing off now, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and go the Blues tomorrow.